God, I'm so fucking annoyed. Oh yeah, okay. I forget where we are. Like what branch this is. I already did this one. Yeah, okay. Why did I die here, though? So that leads me to a death. I could have swore we changed it and got to the point where I needed the key. I already did this. 17, 18, already did. 20 and 3. Yeah, okay, I did this one. Got 19. These are all endings. Stop poisoning, it's a death. Miasma. Oh yeah, so that's the very first ending. I think it's an infiltration. We already did this. Hide in the outhouse. 3, 8. Actually, this might be it. No, wait. I'm pretty sure we did this one too. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Fuck, I'm lost. 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, I did all this. 20 and 3, we did these. Yeah, okay. 8, 16. 17, 18, we did 20 and 3. We did that because it's splitting up this. 1, 3, 8, 9, and 19. I know I'm missing one. I need 9, right? 1, 3, 8, 9, and 19. I gotta find how to get 9. Yeah, 1, 3, 8, 9, and 19. So where the fuck is the other choice? Did I ever recall? Yeah, this is how you go to the different way. I'm like fairly certain all those lead to death. None of these are keys. None of these. Oh, wait. Have I not done this? Don't I need 9? Or do I need 8? Oh, okay. So it was on the right one. I quit too early and it fucking tells me for some reason. I didn't even notice that was the end, but this is definitely the end. Okay. That's what I thought. I was so confused. Oh yeah, it just came back to me. Yeah, anyway. What is it? I said I was going to get some fresh air and caught up with Mamiya-san. In this timeline, she was a wolf, so she wasn't very stable right now. And with the whole snake act she'd pull tomorrow, she'd go completely out of control. I'd have liked to have talked to her in a timeline where Hashimoto-san was alive, but I imagine it'd be hard to find a chance to talk to her then. I remembered it at a decent time though, so whatever, I'd make it work. I have more questions about the old stories here. About the badger. I don't think that ever leaves the realm of imagination. There's no point talking about this, eh? Acting like she didn't know, huh? So I'm interested in something that came up before that. You gave some examples of wolf, snake, monkey, and crow shrines,
カラ
right?
スについては
Even named some
眷
snake
属信仰
gods.
クモ
What
に
about
ついては
spider?
あ
Oh, I noticed. She giggled in a somewhat creepy manner. Apparently, it was easy to talk to her if it was about her specialty.
実はちょっ
I actually
と
don't know of a
雲
single
の
place
眷属に
worshipping
つ
a
いては
spider soon.
心
I
当
need
た
to
りが
read
な
up
くて
on
ね
it.
でも
But
確
it's
か
not
に
like spider gods are
あんま
common,
りき
right?
そうな
Yeah, I
の
know a
よ
bunch of
ね
spider yokai, though.
雲ムカデな
I
ら
know that
毘沙門
centipedes
天
are
の
Bisha
使いなんだ
Montes
けど
serpents. You know
ほ
that
ら
Shingen
武田信玄の
Takeda's
ムカデ
You
衆と
know
か知ら
about
ない
Shingen Takeda's centipede army, right?
あ
Yeah, it was a
あム
popular
カデは
military
前にしか
symbol
進
because
まないから
centipedes can only go
武将
forward,
のシン
right?
ボ
そうそう
Yeah, isn't
昆
that good
虫じゃ
enough?
ない
They're close
虫の
enough to
お
spiders,
仲間っ
right?
て
いや
I wouldn't say so.
ー
Not
厳
at
しい
all.
でしょう
よ
That's
ね
Spider gods are rare,
世
even
界
if you
的
look at
に
the
見
rest
て
of the
も
world.
そうなんで
They
す
are.
え
Yes,
え
there's
アフリカ
African
のアナン
Anansi,
シとか
Anansi,
北米のイ
the
クトミ
North
とか
American Iktomi.
他にも
Besides that,
イン
there's
デ
a
ィア
lot
ン
of
系の
spider-based
神話に
stuff
は
in Native
なぜか
American
雲
myths,
モ
and I
チー
have a
フが
theory
多い
about
んだ
that.
けど
Oh?
実は
She
ちょっ
looked
と面
behind me,
白い
so I
仮
turned
説
around
が
and saw Yasunaga-kun.
すみません
Sorry, I was just wondering
何
what
さ
you
れ
were
てるの
talking
かな
about.
と
ああ
Oh,
オ
we're
カ
just
ルトのお
continuing the
勉強の
occult
続
lesson.
きよ
僕が聞いたん
I
だ
asked
よ
about it. It was hard to
さっきの
continue in
空
the
気だ
dining
と
hall.
なるほど
I see, but you shouldn't have secret chats
で
in this
もあんまり
situation.
良くないそれは
That's
確か
true,
だけ
but
ど
unraveling the secrets is
伝
the
説を掘
legends
り
is
下げとくの
important,
は大事だと
and
思
I'm
うから
just
さ
interested in it too.
それは同意見です
I know what you mean. Is
ああいうの
it
が
what you
民
call
族学って言うんですか
folkloristics?
いやいやそう名乗った
No, no,
ら
no.
怒
The
られる
actual
わよ
specialist would get mad
神
if you
話オ
called
タ
it
クトー
that.
クと
It's
い
more
う
like
か
a mythology
伝承
net
ゴシッ
talk
プってい
or
うか
folklore gossip.
興味あるなら
If you're
君も
interested,
聞いて
you
いけ
can
ば
join us. It'll make us less
その方が
suspicious.
そうだ
Good
な
point. I guess I'll
ちょっ
hang
とな
around for
ら
a bit. We weren't saying anything that was worth hiding anyway.
雲の話を
Were
さ
you
れて
talking
たんで
about
す
spiders?
え
Yes, I have an outrageous theory
雲
about
に
it.
実は
The
上松
Uematsu
家は
family is actually descended
オ
from
ブ
the
ジワインディアンの
Ojibwe
末裔
Native
だっ
American.
たんだなんだ
どういうことなんですどういう
Yeah,
ことな
what
んで
does
しょう
that mean?
ネタが
You
通じ
abandoned
な
me
い
at
と
the
見りゃ
moment you realized
即
that the
座
joke
見捨て
didn't
たわ
click.
ね
Oh well.
まドリームキ
You
ャ
know
ッチ
about
ャーっ
dream
て知ってる
catchers?
アトラクションか
Is
な
that
ん
an
かです
attraction or something?
はい先
Oh, I
生
know.
僕知って
It's
ま
the
す
net thing made
あ
of
の
string
木
and
と紐
wood.
で作った網みたいな
The
モ
mobile,
ビールっぽい釣り飾りですよ
mobile
ね
like decoration. There we go.
正解
That's right. Those
あれ
things were first
オブ
crafted
ジワ
by
族
the
っていう
Ojibwe
イン
Native
ディアン部
American
族の
tribe,
民
and it's
芸
actually
品なん
based
だ
on the
けど
spider's web.
悪い夢を
Like it
雲
says
の
in
巣
the
に
name, it
捕まえ
catches all the
て
bad
い
dreams
い
and
夢
only
だ
lets
け
the
が
good
子供
ones
に
of the
届く
children
っていうの
sleep
が
well.
さらに
Also,
こ
the
の
story
ド
about
リ
the
ームキャ
dream
ッチャーの
catcher
起
speaks
源
of
に
a
関す
spider
る
woman
話
called
にはアシビカアシっていうキ
Ashibikashi.
ャラクなんか似て
Sounds
ない
like the
上
Uematsu,
松家
right?
本当だ
It does. The spider was
黄
said
泉
to
の夢
protect
から
the
人を守ったっていう雲と似
Yomi.
てるすごいじゃあ
Then the
上
Uematsu are
松家
actually
は
Native
本当に何
Americans who
百
came
年だ
here
か前に
centuries
日本に
ago.
やってきた
安永君騙されてはいけない
Yasunaga-kun, don't be fooled.
え
Huh? Well,
まあ
there's the faintest sliver of a
0.01%
chance
くらい
that's
の
true,
確
but
率
it's
で
probably
当たっ
just
て
a
るかも
coincidence.
似たような伝説なん
There
て
are
世
similar
界中
legends
に
all
ある
over
し
the world that it's
そ
hard to
の
argue
全
that
て
they're
が単
actually the
純に
same
同
thing.
一物
あれだ日本人
There's
は
even
実は
theories
ユ
that
ダヤ人だっ
Japanese
た
are
とか
actually Jews,
源義経はジンギスカンだったとか
Minamoto
そういう
no
説もあ
Yoshitsune
る
are
んだよ
actually Genghis Khan.
ジ
What
ンギス
Genghis
カン
Khan?
信じちゃダメだってば
Don't just believe it.
こういう
These
近
theories
接
have
季
as much
節は
basis as the one that
T と
says
超
that
の字は
blank
形が
and
似て
blank
るか
are
ら
the same
元は
origin
同じ
because
だ
of similarly
レベルの
shaped.
詭
Is
弁を
that
含ん
T
で
and
るもの
J?
さ
No, those are probably like Japanese symbols.
そ
I see.
世の中には道楽やら妄想やら支援やらで学問してる人も人の
I
妄
will
想が
admit that
夢を
people's
生むことは
delusions are a
認め
source
る
of
けどね
dreams, but you should
そ
enjoy
れ
them
は
with
あくま
discretion.
で害のない話がずれ
I
た
went
け
on
ど
a
さっ
tangent there,
き
but
の
anyway,
話に
no, I
つ
don't
いて
think
は
she has
さす
Native
がにイン
American
ディ
blood.
アンすっ
But I do
ごい
believe
大
that it's
昔
not
に
unlikely
口伝
that
で
it could
伝
be
わった
related to
伝承
some
が
burial
たまたま
folktale.
なるほど
See.
ところで
By the way, do you know
二人は
Jung?
ユン
He
グっ
was
て
one of
知
the
ってる
fathers of psychology, and
心
he
理学
proposed
の
some
基礎を作っ
fantastic
た一人で
concepts.
倫理の参
I
考
think
書
he
に
was
ち
in
ら
one
っ
of
と
my
載っ
ethics
てた
workbooks.
集合
Are you
無意
talking
識
about the collective
の話
unconscious?
それにはつながる
It's
けど、
related, but I'll
難
leave
し
the
い
complex
話
stuff
は
aside
と
for
りあえ
now.
ずユングは
Jung
さ
believed
っ
that
き言ったみ
similarities
たい
in
な
legends and
神
myths
話
are
や
born
伝
because
承
of
の
mental
類似
images
性は
that most of
人
humanity
類が
can
共
relate
通
to.
人種も
Race
時
and
代も
era
関
don't
係
matter
ない
here. It's a
人
universal
間
image
という
that
種
all
に
of
普
mankind
遍的なイ
understands,
メー
and
ジ
it's why similar
似
myths
た
can be
神話が
created in
離
different
れた
places and
国や文
cultures.
随分思い
It's
切
a
った
bold
推論です
assumption.
ね
I actually think that what you said about
それよ
history,
りはさっき
the
みたい
prime
に
influence here
歴
is
史
more
のい
likely.
つかに
異論は当然
He
でしょ
has
う
detractors,
で
of
も
course, but that's what
彼
he
はそう
believed,
考
and he
え
gave the
て
name
そういった
archetype
人類
to
共
those
通のイ
common
メージを
images.
そして
And he
い
defined
くつか
several
の
such
原型を
archetypes
定義した
himself, trickster,
トリ
anima,
ックスターとか
etc.
その中で
Among those, the
雲は
spider
グ
is
レートマ
considered
ザ
to
ーという
symbolize
原
a
型
great
を
mother.
象
グレートマ
Great
ザー
mother.
そう大い
Yes,
な
the
る
mother that
母
gave birth to all,
すべ
loves
てを
and
生み
cherishes all, as
慈
well
し
as
み愛し
the one that binds all, obsesses over all, then consumes it
執
all,
着
only
し
to birth them again.
貪
It's an
り食っ
earth
て
monster
言い直す
sort of entity.
雲は人
Earth
類に
Mother
共通的に
wants to.
そういうイメージを
Humanity
抱かせ
collectively
る
sees that in
ま
the
たは
spider.
そういう行為や
Or thinks
感
of
情
such
を
things
想起
upon
さ
seeing
せ
it
る
apparently.
でもしそういう
There
原
really
型が
is
ある
such
と
an
すれば
archetype.
遠く
It'd be
離
no
れた
surprise
ア
that
メリカ
something
大陸
embodying
と
the
日
idea
本
of
の
a spider weaving
全
a
く
net
接
protecting
点がない
sleeping children
この
was
眠
born
り
in
を
both
守る
American
ため
and
に
Japan
糸
with
を
a real
紡ぐ
connection
雲
between the two.
うーん
I see.
なるほ
I'm
ど
guessing that's a psychology
そう
subject.
いやまあ
Hey, well, my
私
role
は
here
あ
is
く
just
まで
presenting some
そん
weird
な夢
fantastical
物語
theories.
を
Don't
提
take
案
them
す
too
るだけの
seriously.
でも
But the fact that there are
夢物
many
語
ways
に
to
対
approach
して
these theories is
いろ
new to me.
でしょ
I
だ
know
か
what
ら
you
私
mean,
は
but I'm sure
こ
I
の
have
集
a
落
lot
の
of
信仰
wait.
をちゃ
But
ん
I'm
とし
sure I
た
have
方
a
法
lot
で
of
調
fun if
べ
I
る
can
ことが
analyze
で
the
きれ
whole
ば
faith
相
properly.
当面白いっていう
Would
と
saying it's
ま
fun
た怒られるかし
make
ら
people mad though?
でも
But
本
really,
当
if I can make
そ
money
れで
off
お
of
金
it,
が
I'd
出るな
investigate
ら
myself.
そういうの
Where can
ど
you
こで
study that
勉
kind
強
of
でき
thing
るんです
anyway? Did you learn it in college
間
or
宮さん
something?
はあれ
Huh?
安永君は放送志望あ
Yes, of course.
大学は自分が勉強したいことを学ぶところだもし気が変わ
If
っ
you
たら
change your mind,
紹
I'll
介す
introduce
る
you
わ
to
よ
a cultural
大
anthropologist.
学の文化人類
Why
学
is
部の
it
先生
censored?
ありがとうございます
Mamiya-san left him a business card and said he could contact her anytime, except for tomorrow, of course. He continued to ask her about folkloristics, looking really passionate about it. I really appreciated how people could bond over academic subjects in the most unexpected of places. Well, I actually had another question myself.
兄ちゃん
Nei-chan, what are you doing
さっ
here?
きから
あうんごめん
Oh, yeah,
もう戻る
sorry,
よ
I'm heading back. Sorry about
すみ
that.
ませんいろいろ
I'll talk to you
また
again if
よ
you
かった
don't
ら
mind.
え
Not at all.
兄ちゃんっ
You
て
sure
ば
get around.
ちょっと待って
Hold on, what do you
一体
mean?
何の話
Perfect timing from Haru-chan.
うーん
I feel like I might have ruined the
もし
future
か
of
し
a
て
promising
一人の
youth.
泥沼ってこ
Ruined
と
is
は
a
ないで
big
しょう
word, though I won't deny that being
いや
an occult writer is an
オカルト
ideal
ライターと
occupation.
ひど
Wow, so
で
rude.
も
But I
否定
can't
でき
deny
ない
that.
彼が
But if he
学者
wants
さ
to
ん
be
を
a
目指し
scholar,
た
I
いと
don't
思
think
うな
anyone
ら
would make fun of him.
不
You're in
採し君
sciences, right? I guess you can say
ま
that.
あ
文系の金にな
Let
ら
me
な
just
さっ
tell
ぷ
you that
り
you
を舐
shouldn't
めたらあか
underestimate
ん
how
ぜ
little
よ
money
と
liberal arts
言わせ
majors
ても
make.
らう
失礼し
I'm
ました
sorry, I completely
そうでした
forgot.
ムカ
Now I'm
つ
annoyed.
くわ
Anyway, should we go back too?
あ
Before
あ
that,
さっ
you
き
said you know
雲の
Spider
妖
Yokai,
怪なら
right?
思
Can
い
you
当たる
name
っておっ
some?
しゃいま
Well, there's the Jorogumo. Depending on the legend, the image given
火を操
off is a
ったり
creature that
赤
commands
子を
fire
抱
and
かせ
raises
て
children.
大体は
But
妖
mostly it's
艶
an
な美女
enchanted
で
woman that does
男
something
を
with
と
men.
源の来光が
Tsuchigumo
退治し
defeated
た
by
土蜘蛛
Minamoto
は
no
でっかい
Yorimitsu
雲
is
だ
just
け
a
ど
huge spider
やっ
but
ぱ
it
り
can
美女に
transform
化
into
け
a
てる
beautiful
し
woman.
うーん
Sounds to me like the spider's
どっちかってい
archetype
う
is
と
evil woman.
見え
I know
て
what
る
you mean. There are
ブ
black
ラッ
widows
クウドウ
too.
もそうだし
We
ね
laughed a bit. Chatting with Mamiya-san was always entertaining.
妖怪
There's
に
also
つい
some
ては
legends about
あと
minor
はモ
spider
ブ的
yokai,
な
I
音
guess.
近世の
For
工
something
作
more
も入
modern,
るな
there's
ら
the spider's
雲
thread.
の糸は
Kentata spared
神
the
田が
simple
作っ
spider,
た
but
の
the
は
one
た
who
だの
let the
雲
thread
だけ
down
ど
was Buddha.
糸
なるほど
I see. The
上
Uematsu's
町家
clothing
の
has
装束
Buddhist
は
influences
仏教と混ざ
too.
ってますもん
I don't know
ね
if that's relevant though.
うーん
Besides that, all I have
あ
is
と
pure
はもう
fiction.
雲の
Like
神といえ
Matlak
ば
Nacha.
そっち
If
に
you
行っちゃ
go
う
there, you'd
と
have to rethink all the
他の
other
お守りも
guardians.
言え
That's
てる
true. The Hound of
ギンダロスの
Tindalos,
猟犬
Melusia,
に
Serpent
バルーシア
Man,
のデビ
Monkey.
人間に
What's good for a
猿
monkey? Wendigo? I wonder why there aren't many
しかし
Japanese spider gods.
不気味だからじゃないかしら
Ending up as
やっぱり
monsters must
モ
have
ン
been
ス
the
タ
best
ー
they
に
could
なる
do.
八百万の神の
Unexpectedly
国なの
shallow
に
for the
猟犬
country
の
that
狭
came
い
up with the concept of Yaoryuzu. That there's a god in everything.
うーん
If you think about this more seriously, then
もう
it
少し
might be
真面目
because
に考
Japan is
え
the
るなら
country of
神道的には
Katsukami.
天津神ですか
Katsukami?
そうそう
Yep, the
雨の
lineage
水
started
上
with
市に始ま
Mino
って
Mina
イザナギ
Kanushi.
イザナミを経由して
Uh,
アマテラス
then
や
going to
伝統
Izanagi and
ニニ
Izanami,
ギ
then
につながる系
Amaterasu,
譜
then the heavenly grandson Ninigi.
ちなみにニニギの三代後が初代天皇である神武天皇だからそこから続く今の皇族は天津神の
え
Huh?
イ
There were
ザナ
gods
ギ
before
イザナミの
Izanagi
前
and
に神が
Izanami?
結構いっ
Tons.
ぱい
They
いるわ
created
よ
the country and
あ
lots
の
of
夫
other
婦は
gods.
国と
But there
神
are
をた
gods
くさ
born
ん産んだ
alongside
け
the
ど
creation of
天
heaven
地
and
海
earth.
それはともかく
Anyway, gods
そう
and
いっ
roots
た
of
天
heaven,
の国
Takamagahara,
高間ヶ原を
considered
ルーツに持 持つ神。一方で
While
高
those
間
who
ヶ
are
原を
left
放逐され
while
た
those who
スサ
left
ノオを筆頭とし
Takamagahara
地
and
上
ended
の
up
世界
living
に
on
住み
Earth
着
like
いた
Susanoo
神が
and
国津神
Kunitsu
である時に天
Then
津
the
神たちが
Amatsu-kami said they
芦原の
control
中津国は俺らが仕切るって言い出して
Ashihara no
日本のことね。
Nakatsukuni. That's Japan, by the way.
吸ったもんだの挙句
After
に
much wrangling,
何
they
度
ended
か
up
交
striking
渉
an
成
agreement.
立
The Kunitsu-kami
国津
ended
神
up
た
living
ち
a
は
secluded
かの
life
出
in the
雲大
Sumo
社に
Grand
認
Shrine
定
and
して
handed control of
芦原の
Japan
中津
to
国の支配を
Akatsuki.
その後さ
After
っ
that,
きの
Emperor
神武
Jinbu
天皇
traveled
は
east to make a
都を
city, then
作るた
defeated
めに
powerful
統制を
enemies
やっ
like
て
Nagasune
長
Hiko
常彦っていう
and
強
Emperor
敵や
Tsuchigumo.
この土
That's
蜘蛛
not
は
the
妖
yokai,
怪じ
by
ゃな
the
く
way.
て
It's a
先
derogatory
住の
name for
地
the
方
clans
王
that
族
used to
に
live
対する
here.
別称なん
Anyway,
だ
he
けど
mastered,
とにかく
conquered them.
彼らそれでようやく
He
今
finally
の
built
ヤ
the
マトの国
foundation
の
for the
基盤が
current
できましたよ
Yamato. That's
と
what
いうのが
that's what the
古事記ベースでいう
Kojiki says
日本
about
の
the
建
creation
国
of this
神話
country.
え
Oh, it
そ
was
んな
that
難しい
complicated.
話
I
だっ
only
たん
knew
です。
Izanagi, Izanami,
僕はイザナギイザナミと
Wado,
天の岩戸と
the
オロ
defeat
チ
of
退治
Orochi.
まあこれだけ
Well,
権
it's a
威
pretty
主義的な
authoritarian
国だから
country, so it's myth
神話も
represents
ごついのが
that.
必要だ
That's
ったん
kind
で
of
しょう
disrespectful, isn't it?
ともかく
Anyway, back to
話
the
を
matter
戻
at
す
hand.
と
Through
国つかみ
Kunitsukami,
はしばしば天津神に出
though
入りしたりし
Kunitsukami
て
married the
血脈は
Akatsukamis,
継いでるけど
they're
主流と
rarely
して語
considered
ら
to
れ
be
る
the
ことは
main ones.
日本
In
神
the
話の
world
世
of
界では
Japanese myth, the
男
male
系相
lineage
続
takes
が基本だ
precedence,
か
so
ら
it means that this
普通で
country belongs to the
この国は
descendants of the
天津
Akatsukaami.
それこそさっき
Consider
言
the
った
aforementioned
蛇
snake
の
god,
神
Umono
大物
Nushi.
主なん
He's
かは
like
国つかみだ
Kimitsu
け
Kami.
ど
You can say that
天津神の方がやっぱ
Amatsu
り
Kami
メ
are
ジャ
more
ーでしょ
prevalent.
久石君の
The
口か
story
らさっ
mentioned
き
the
出
one
たお
about
話
Susanoo
も
is pretty vague in
そ
that
の
regard,
はちょっと微妙
and
だ
you
け
can
ど
still interpret it
ま
as
あ大
an
体
Amatsu
天津
Kami
神
story.
そうですね。
だから
So yeah, there are
実は
spider
雲の
gods, but
神
they
と
be
かもいる
categorized
け
as
ど
Kunitsukami.
大国主や大物主みたいな一部を除けばみんなドマイナーとして忘れられか
なるほ
I see, I see.
Yeah.
Well, that was
ど。
interesting.
非常
I
に
see.
興味
ごめんね
Sorry I couldn't give
ち
you
ゃ
a
ん
more
と答
proper
えを出
answer.
す
Well,
ま
I'm
あ
just killing some time
どっ
here.
ちに
Sorry
しろ
for
時間
bothering you.
いえいえ
Don't worry,
こっ
I
ちも
enjoyed
気
it
だまり
too.
ちえみちゃんとモ
Maybe
ッ
you
チ
should
ーに
tell
も
it
教
to
えてあげよう
Jamie-chan
か
and
な。
Mochi too. Tell it to the other wolves.
その
They're
二人も
interested in myths?
神話に
I guess so.
し
But
か
man,
し
I don't
戻
want to
る
go
のや
back
だ
there. The
な。
dining hall's too tense.
食堂はどうしても
Anyway,
息
I
が
left the
詰まり
line
ま
that
す。
pretty much implied that I knew who the wolves were. Maybe she'd start panicking and kill me? Oh, that's why. That'd make things easier for me. Nothing? I turned around and saw no one. So she ignored it, or maybe she just broke things off for her own safety. I might have underestimated her. She clearly wasn't the type of person to panic and kill someone at daytime and suffer the corruption. I had no choice then. I considered trying something or another in this timeline again, but in the end I decided to just jump into Saranaga. The things I learned today made it impossible for me to sit still. It was such a major key to this mystery. What? I feel like you didn't learn anything. I had to bring it to me in the next loop as soon as possible. After gathering my resolve, I took a step forward. Gravity vanished. Right before I died, I thought about my Wondergrite. It was a chat from before. Talking about history and the cult alongside Mamiya-san and Yasunaga-kun was a lot of fun. Yasunaga-kun seemed to be enjoying himself a lot too. What a waste. I got to talk about this settlement's interesting history, had a lot of fun doing it, and shared this pleasure with Yasunaga-kun, yet it'd all be gone now. I felt like I just gained another reason to end this nightmare. I love to chat with them about the occult as normal people, not just as potential wolves or humans. Maybe we'd drink over it too. Oh, right. Yasunaga-kun was underage. I crashed into the ground. Nut talk. Myth and archetype. Alright, well, that brings us to the end. I'm assuming what is the final ending. Or the true ending. Even though I feel like we still have no fucking idea of what's what. Call for that person. Alright, I remembered it now. I went outside, ignored the monster, and shouted. Sheep! Sheep! Suddenly the world turned gray, and that person appeared before me. You dumbass, you dumbass, you dumbass! There you are, and 3 dumbasses? That's mean. Read the mood. Hey, hold on, bot. Hold on, bot. I told you never to come back here again. Oh, so each of the 3 was for a separate thing? I see, I see. What now, huh? Huh? What do we do about this? There's no way to recover.
フォロー
We
は
don't
不要
have
です
to.。Huh?
全部
I have everything figured out.
謎は解けました。
I said that with a serious tone. Wait, does that matter now? Huh? Look, the monster's watching some beats now. There goes the city. What's with your attitude? You went against the warning. Such a responsibility, you sheep shit idiot. I got called sheep shit by a sheep. You're dead. I'll kill you right now.
事件の解
You
決
need
のた
time
め
to
に
solve
は
this thing, right?
時間
Huh? Resolving this incident wouldn't be easy. There were 3 things that had to be done. I had to stop the people of Yasumizu from killing each other in the feast. I had to deal with the master of the loop, who wanted the monster's resurrection. And I had to deal with the Miguruma, the leaders of the feast. The first one would be the hardest. I had to prepare for it, for the big act.
羊さん、
Sheep,
お
I
願い
need
で
your
す。
help.
巻き戻りが
Can you
始ま
send
る
me
よう
back
に
as
できる
far
だ
as
け前に
possible? I told you there wouldn't be a second time. They'll notice me if I do it now.
気
That's
づかれ
fine.
てもいい。
Huh?
気づかれた
Let
場
them
合
know.
の
The
リ
only
スクっ
risk
て
of doing that is
あ
that you
な
won't
た
be
が
able
も
to
う
control the
夢
dream
を操
again.
つまり
That means that
あ
you
な
and
た
me
も
both
僕
will
も
be taken in
巻
by
き
the
戻
loop,
りに
no
飲み
longer
込まれ
store
て
memories and
記
just
憶
repeat
も
the
維持
same
でき
things.
ず
You ain't wrong.
つまり
So I'll go back
今
using your
回ま
powers
た
and you'll be
羊さんの
noticing
力で
soon by
巻き
the
戻り
dream.
そこから死
But
なず
it'll all
に
be fine if I just
全部
solve the
解決す
problem,
れば
right?
問題なくないですか？
問題は
There's
3
three
つある。
problems.
まず
First, I have no idea how much time before the starting point I can go back to.
何
It
日
could
前
just
ま
be
で
a
戻
few
せるか
hours.
次に
Next, it'd be a gamble
その
whether
時
you'll
に
keep
お
your
前と俺
memories.
の
There's
記
no
憶を
guarantee they
保
won't
持
be
でき
lost
る
when I
か
manipulate the dream.
最後
Lastly, you sure you can solve it all?
ざけんな
Don't mess around.
ノーダ
I'm
メー
just
ジ
not
クリ
sure
ア
if
に
I
つ
can
い
do
て
this flawlessly.
やってみせ
I'll
ます
do
よ
it for sure though. At worst, I'll suffer some damage.
ちょっとばかりダメージを受けるかも
I'll
しれ
still
ませ
pull
ん
it
が
off, I guess.
まあじゃ困んだ
Guess
よ
it won't do.
じゃあ
Then I'll
絶
guarantee
対
I'll
を保
do
証しま
it.
す
In exchange, you swear that
そ
you'll
の
do
代わり
your part?
最低でも
At worst, give
振
me
り
at
出
least
しから
one
丸
whole
1
day
日
since
は
the
時間を
starting
稼い
point
でく
and
だ
make
さ
my
い
memories as complete
あ
as
と
possible.
一つでも
If
取
I
りこぼ
lose
した
just
ら
one thing, my
僕
guarantee
の
will
保
be
証は
void.
ない
調子
Don't
に
get
やが
uppity
っ
with
て
me now.
どうにした
Well,
っ
if I
て
don't
巻き
turn it
戻
back,
さね
this
え
country will be
こ
over.
の国
You
が終わ
knowingly
る
left me no other choice, didn't you?
はい
Yes.
実のところ
I'd say this kind of
その
resolve
く
is
らい
actually
腹をくく
necessary
ら
to
ない
beat
と
this bad guy.
失
Mess
敗
up
した
and
ら
I'll kill you. Got it?
ええ
Yes.
いいだろう
Fine.
見れよ100
Come
万
shit
匹
from a
分
million
の
sheep.
土
Wait, 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 hold on.
うるせえ
Shut up. Drowning in
てめえ
1
の
million
勝手
tons
放
of
題
shit
を
is how you deserve to
100
die
万
after
トン
what
の
you
大
pulled.
物
1頭あたり
1 ton
1
per
トンの
sheep?
換算だと
Just
す
how
る
many
と
months worth of shit is
一
that?
体な
もう1
100
億トン
million
で
it
いいよ
is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
ごめんなさい
My apology went unheard. Saturday. Shit, shit. How many more do we got? We have 5 more. Fuck, dude.
うんこがうんこが
Huh? I woke up. This unpleasant awakening. Actually, I think this one. Yeah. Solid Gold is okay. So yeah, this is from when I'm the snake. So this is one I just missed. I'm pretty sure I had to investigate Haru, but I didn't because I knew she wasn't a wolf. So I can just jump back and get that. This unpleasant awakening and the general discomfort in the room. It was that awful inn I visited. Awake, I see.
うわ
Whoa, a
ま
hostess
た
came
中井
in
が
just
勝
like
手に入っ
that?
てきた
At least it wasn't that needlessly energetic proprietress.
ゆうべはお
Last night sure
楽
was
しみ
fun.
でした
あ
It's
ー
been a
と
while, so
も
assume
う
I
だい
don't
ぶ前
really
のことだから思い出せない
That's for the best. I don't want to remember it.
はい
Excuse me?
いえ何
Nothing,
でもない
just
です
talking to myself.
朝食は
Would
ど
you like
う
some
なさい
breakfast?
ます
絶
I'm
対
good, thank
いい
you.
です
連泊
Staying
は
again?
死んでもいいです
寂しい
今度個人的
I'll
に
point
恨
out
みがある
about
やつを
50 people I don't
50
like
人
in
くら
this
い合
place.
宿
You
と
can
称
take
して
care
来
of
させ
that.
超
That
助
helps.
チェックアウトで
Checking out.
毎
you.
度あり
What was with this place? Their laugh. Anyway, since I was staying here, that meant I checked the calendar on my phone and found out that it was Saturday, May 10th. I'd get lost at the mountain on the night of the 11th, and the mist would come in the evening of the 12th. And from what I can tell, I could remember everything. From what I recall, this was Chiami's first starting point. I was upset I couldn't tell her about this, but I hope she remembered everything too. Anyway, it looked like the sheep did what it had to. Now I just had to fix the problem. Well, it'd work out. I wrote something down and left the inn. It was a list containing things I needed and things I had to do to solve the problem. I knew the 3 things I had to do pretty well. I had to stop the people of Yasumizu from killing each other in the feast. I had to deal with the master of the loop who wanted the monster's resurrection. And I had to deal with the Miguruma, the leaders of the feast. Things wouldn't be solved if at least one of them wasn't cleared, and unlike before, I only had one chance. It'd be pretty boring if I messed up after all this resolution. I'd just take it easy. Humming the song of the same name, I slowly parked my bike. After filling up the tank at the nearest place, I looked at the map again. The main road was packed right now. I had to pick the quickest route while avoiding it. I didn't know the lay of the land, but I knew my destination, so it wouldn't be hard to get there. From my current perspective, the me from weeks, no months ago, had abandoned all responsibility and just wandered aimlessly out of frustration and an abundance of time. I was different now. I had a goal, a place I had to go, and people who needed me. Thus, I didn't have to hesitate anymore. I had to hurry to Fujiyoshi. The misty place once called the Werewolf Village, the Misty Garden of God. Alright. I went without any breaks, stopping only to refuel, and finally arrived. Honestly, I could barely stand, but my thirst and hunger were way worse. I had to rest at least once. Seriously. My thoughts were dulled. I needed to raise my blood sugar. But there was something I had to do before that. Hello. I'm back, sheep! What the hell are you saying, huh? What, you thought I wouldn't figure it out? You're the sheep, aren't you? I know what you're talking about. Get out!
今の反
I'm
応
amazed
で
you're trying to talk
言い
your way out
逃
of
れ
this
ようっ
while
て
acting
根性
like
が
that.
すごい
Oh
ですな
well.
なんでわかったんだよ。
あなたみ
You're
た
the
い
only
に
woman with such
切れた
intense
ファッション
fashion
の女
sense
性は
around these
この
parts.
辺にいませ
The
んよ
locals gotta go to hunting
せい
and
ぜい
shops for
100
their
円ピー
fashion.
スファッションあと
And no person
何の
without
腹積
ulterior
もりもな
motives
い
would
人間
recommend
だ
that
から
road.
そんなこと
That's
か。
all. What a stretch.
すみません
Sorry, anyway, give me something to eat.
廃棄前の弁当だっ
You
た
can
ら
have the almost
ただ
expired
で食
stuff
わ
for
せてや
free.
る。
設定に忠実なんですね
うるせえな。
Shut it.
おごりはあ
I'll
りが
take
た
the
くいただくと
freebies,
し
but I'd
て
like to order some strange
少々
things.
ここはコ
Sir,
ンビ
this
ニ
is a
だぞ。
convenience store. I gotta say that, you know.
一応
今更
That's
で
just
しょ
what matters at this point. Damn, you're a pain.
で
これがメ
Here's
モ
a
で
note.
す
What the hell is this? Piss off with this shit. How much is this gonna
Okay.
cost?
無理ですか
Can't get it?
待ってろ。
Just wait.
ありがとうございます
Thank you. Leave the rest
あ
to
と
me.
は
マジでこのまま
You
行
sure
く
you're
か。
gonna go in that state? Shouldn't you
休
rest
んで
a
いった
bit?
方
そんな顔色悪く見えます
むしろ
No,
一
actually, you
発
look like
決
you're
めた
ready
み
to
てえ
take
に
on
血
this
色
world.
いいか
That's
ら
what worries
逆
me.
踏ん張りどこ
Don't
ろで
overdo it and
ぽ
snap
っ
under
き
the
り折れん
pressure.
じゃね。
心配さ
Sorry
せ
for
て
making you worry.
すみませんねところで
By the
僕
way, I
は
just realized that I might have
あ
been
なた
used
たち
by
に
you
無
people
言のう
without
ちにいい
realizing
よう
it.
に利用あれ
Why
な
am
ぜ
I the one
僕が謝ってい
apologizing?
る
気にす
Don't
んな
worry。about it. This little.
ま
Well,
いいんで
whatever.
す
I
け
just
ど
want to
ね
be able to end it with a,
楽し
that
かっ
was
た
fun.
ねちなみに
By the way, did the enemy
敵に
find
は
you?
見つ
少な
They
く
have
とも
realized something's
あ
wrong.
っちは異
I'm on
変
the
には
run
気
right
づ
now,
い
but
た。
they'll have me soon.
今は逃
The
げ
enemy
回っ
was
て
the
るが、
mastermind, the
尻
creator of
尾
the
つ
loop.
かまれるのも
She
時
was
間の
probably
問題
fighting
だ
her。own battle already, one beyond my area of expertise.
まあ、
Well, I'll run as fast as I
せいぜい
can.
逃げ
Maybe
回
I'll
って
be
や
a
る
good
よ。
distraction while you do your
その
thing.
それはとて
That'll
も
help
助
a
かりま
lot.
す
Please do.
こっちからも
Can I
聞い
ask
ていい
something now?
か。
Sure, go
はい
ahead.
いつまでこ
How long
の
are you
茶
going to
番
continue
続
this
くんだよ
act?。
これっきりで
This
す
is
よ
the last time.
まあ、
Well, if you come back alive, I'll
生き
spare
て
you
帰
the
っ
punch.
たら、
She
ぶん
used me
殴
for
る
all
の
I
は
was
勘
worth,
弁
then
し
said
て
she'd
やる。
punch me if I died. It was kind of amazing, really. I couldn't tell if she was one hell of a Sundir or just insane.
じゃ
See ya.
あ、
Yeah. I hid my impression and just got back to my bike. The tons of stuff I had on me made a rustling sound. Through my dozens of times of being killed by Chiemi, I'd memorized the path here so well I was sick of it. I'd passed a small overpass, stopped my bike at the boulder, and took off my helmet. This might have been in Okiwa, too, the sign leading to Fujiyoshi and Yasumizu. I placed the bike under a tree by the side of the road, placed what I had on the ground, and locked the bike. Then I'd hung the helmet's ring over the chain lock. After that, I opened a large mountaineering bag and took out whatever I needed right now. A headlamp, it was a bit big, but fit well. Shone bright, lasted long, and was resistant to water. And this was a mountaineering stick. I'd already unpacked it at the store. I had to make sure I didn't get hurt. With my time becoming limited, I had to buy safety with money. I put on the backpack, putting the weight of all the stuff in it on my shoulders. I had to hurry. I'd waste just an entire hour. Whatever, just getting there. The distant sounds of water became louder, and I finally found my way through the darkness and arrived at Saranaga Rapids. I unhesitatingly took off my pants, got in some loose trunks, and covered my feet in climbing sandals. I placed my clothes in the waterproof backpack, closed it, and put it on again. Through my fights with Chiemi, I found out that crossing the Saranaga was pretty dangerous. It'd be too pathetic if I fell and died here. Just couldn't let that happen. Anyway, it was time to go. All the rest of them coming from the backpack felt like someone was laughing at me, saying that my worries were for nothing and that I was jumping in shadows. The cold stream of May numbed my skin and I felt like I was trying to sap the warmth from my body. But I couldn't give up. If I did, this would have all been for nothing. Too many people would suffer. However, I wasn't motivated by some sort of justice, a sense that I had to protect them. I was just interested in the fact that the struggle would end up saving so many lives. It was an amazing trade. I also wanted to get even with some people and set myself free from this one-sided obligation. It was a selfish motivation, but that was exactly why I could put my all to it. I made it through the water and reached the other side. Naturally, there was no girl sawing off her shotguns here, or the flashlight she brought. Not this way, anyway. Alright. Everything was as expected so far. No, I dropped the climbing stick in the water, so that wasn't great. It was within my margin for error, though. I had to calm down. Getting distracted by my mistakes would keep me from focusing. I looked at my phone. It was at a service ranger course. The time was 12:53 a.m. Pretty early. It would work out. I changed my clothes and shoes, then got on the cliff. Shit. My memory told me that the cliff was the most dangerous place, especially for a non-local like myself. I tried to be careful, obviously, but the other stick I used for climbing broke. I almost fell and reflexively used my hands, cutting them on the sharp stone. After making it up the cliff, I took out some whiskey, disinfected the wounds, and applied some first aid with the handkerchief. Thinking about what I'd do next, this wound was really painful. Maybe I had to loop back and... Of course that line of thinking would become habitual. It was a good thing I'd ever prepared. I had only one life now, so I had to keep that in mind. With that slight shift in mentality, I got back to work. The first one of the 3 objectives. I had to stop the people of Yasamizu from killing each other in the feast, and this was actually the hardest thing to do. Thus, I had to be both extremely careful and extra prepared. I would be proving a hypothesis. I was really pissed I hadn't thought of this sooner. I'd have loved it. I'd have loved to try it when her setting was still an option, but I was pretty confident I was right. If it wasn't here, it had to be in another place I knew well, but this one seemed way more likely. And we began preparing. I took out the 20-meter-long climbing rope. I had 5 spares, 100 meters in the bag. Of course, they took up the most space in the bag. Freeing one of them up, I tied it up as if I was preparing to hang someone in the feast. Passing one swivel ring through the rope and hanging the other one on another climbing rope, I made a 40-meter rope. It was enough to cover a cliff this tall. With this, I know how to wade down below the hanging point. I fixed the stopper I had already tied to my waist on the rope and created a lifeline for myself. At least I thought I did, but I had no experience with this. Still, I had to do it. Holding onto the rope, I began slowly going down. At first, I spun around, messed up while handling the stopper, slid down a few times, and was generally on the verge of getting myself killed. Eventually, I began stopping the spin by touching the grass and branches on the cliff, and figured out how to rappel down slowly. Finding what I was looking for while climbing down was hard work. I felt water drop on my forehead and thought it was rain, only to realize it was actually blood from my hands, falling from the rope above me. That made me keenly aware of the pain and pressure from using my aching hands. It brought back my exhaustion, drowsiness, and muscle pain. It came with the mental fatigue, and it couldn't have come at a worse time. Why was I doing this? The stupidity of it came back to me. What if this is all for nothing? Of course it was. Shit. Shit. Before I knew it, I was muttering some profanities. I felt like it would help me shake off the urge to cry, the pain, the misery, and the patheticness. Even so, it had to be here. The entrance had to be closed. All of Yasamizu had taken it for granted that people had to be hanged from the pine. That wasn't word of mouth or anything. It was an idea that came naturally, and it was with them their whole lives. That meant that this was pretty much the work of God. However, the idea of hanging one side of the rope on the tree and the other on the neck and pushing the victim off felt illogical. Were they doing it because the only cleanup they had to do then was cutting the rope? Well, during the feast, the corpses did fall to Saranaga every now and then. The lack of sound had to be God's doing, but that wasn't always the case. Some corpses had been caught on the cliff or fell onto the riverbank. Whenever that happened, the body was not only cleaned up, it became a very real bother, reeking and full of disease. If you just wanted to hang the victim, all you had to do was put the rope over a branch and pull it up. This is often done outside of here. If If what mattered to them was dropping the body in Saranaga, then pushing them off was enough. Even if they were just focusing on making a kill certain, there weren't many times they could actually do this. I didn't think that a murder method that had to only be done several dozen or so years would become part of Yasumi's common soul. That seemed especially unlikely when, for the past 500 or so years, the locals only used the feast to control the local community. In that case, I imagine that the truth was different. The hanging wasn't for killing, it was to meet God. That unique way of praying, where they joined their hands and hid their faces, had to represent the remains of the lifeline they held before God. Thus, I'd surely arrive there if I went down. I'd believe that. Believe. Suddenly, something appeared. About midway down the cliff, on one of the links between the climbing rope, I found a large boulder sticking up from the bottom directly across from me. It was large enough to stand on. There were pine saplings on it, probably the children of the hanging pine. It looked suspicious. I had to get there. So I began swinging. Moving my legs and waist, I slowly created a swinging motion. The climbing rope made noise as I clung to it. The fear of it disconnecting and the fear of hitting the boulder struggled violently, but I managed to ignore them. When the swing was good enough, I waited for when I was over the boulder and stuck my legs out. I ended up having to grab onto the little pines, and my hands hurt like hell because of the prickliness, but that didn't matter now. I adjusted my headlamp and started examining the place more thoroughly. Bingo. Right behind all the growth here, there was an aged wooden torii.
よし。
I felt my vigor return, but I needed to press on. Behind the torii, there was an aged door sealed by decayed chains. I pulled on it, and the chains just broke, letting me go in. There was no way to hide a god, people of Fuji. This was no way to hide a god, people of Fujiyoshi. I opened the door wide, hunched down, and stuck my head in the hole. It was big enough for a crouching adult to pass through. It was a hole in the side of the cliff, angled slightly upward. It was an artificial place created by digging through the rock here. It was dry inside, probably due to the slope and the door protecting it. Alright. It wasn't exactly what I expected, but it was pretty damn close. Now I needed to secure a way to get here from the bottom, create a camp, and take away the route from the top. Thankfully, the young trees here were firmly planted and had large trunks, so I could easily tie a climbing rope around them and make my way down. With this and that, I successfully went down to the riverside below. I then got back up to the hanging pine, got my stuff, and took care of the climbing rope. Some would come to the graveyard before the mist began, so they'd know something was up if they saw the rope. It'd all go to waste then. I had to hide until the mist came. This too was part of stopping the people of Yasumizu from killing each other in the mist. It was absolutely necessary for the cause. I began creating the riverside camp. Actually, it was on the rocky area above the riverbed. They couldn't see me from the top if I was here. And a flood due to rain wouldn't be a problem. Though it wasn't much of a camp. I just took out a blanket and lay down. After drinking some bottled water, I looked at my phone. It was past 3 on a Sunday night. There would be rain in 24 hours and Saranaga could gain some water. I had to get everything done in the hole until then and prepare for the great act. But, well, it was enough for today. Man, am I tired. I'd arrived at Yasumizu a day earlier than normal and confirmed a theory of mine. All that was left now was to enhance the crew and prepare the fake room. I could just go to sleep for now. I'd have to do things right after the night cleared. So I'd set a timer and just nap rather than sleep. There. Good night. Is he gonna, like, pretend to be the wolf? I easily woke up to the sound of my alarm. Honestly, the heart sensation on my back made it nearly impossible to sleep. Even so, though I thought I'd wake up with the morning sun, and Christina come here. The settlement was right between 2 mountains, so of course I wanted to get much sunlight. I was still sleepy, but this was the fated day. I drank down the rest of the bottle and got some calories out of some sweet bread. First, I had to take care of my wounds. Surrounded by a dim light, I took off the handkerchief in my right hand and treated the festering wound. I wanted to wash it off with Saranaga's water, but I felt like the hole in the middle of the cliff might have not been the only reason why the stream was considered corrupted. I washed it off with water from a new bottle instead. Then I put some more disinfectant and a fresh bandage on it. It had been messed up while I'd been climbing yesterday. I then grabbed my friend the headlamp and checked whether the stopper, a potential lifesaver, worked properly. With that, I was ready. Upon climbing up to the hole, I went inside and turned on the lamp. I then tried going up the upward slanted hill. After some distance, the hill started slanting down. It might have been done to prevent rainwater from flowing in, and the inside, it was like unexpected. There was a pile of fist-sized stones. I had to remove them. It had to be possible. It had been done by humans after all, and a whole 6 centuries ago too, though I would kind of feel bad about it. What I was about to do was basically tomb raiding. But then I had a thought. Someone who was about to kill God had no business talking about irreverence. To make the job easier, I took out a small shovel from the stuff I bought. I brought a collapsible bucket too, but it didn't look like I could use it. After thinking for a bit, I took out all the waterproof inner bags from the backpack, then transported the stones using the outer bag. After filling a bag with lots of rocks, I crawled outside and turned it upside down. This was effective and didn't put much strain on my hands wound, though hard labor in a tight space certainly wasn't easy. The lack of sleep and fatigue were getting to me, and I wasn't sure I was working fast enough. I wanted to go home after repeating this just 3 times. Even so, I'd do my best. I wanted to go back after all. Come on, ancient people.
一体何トン
Just
石
how
ころ
much did
詰
you
め
have
る
to
んだ
bury it
よ。
under?
いく
I know
ら
it's to
神を
prevent a
外
god
に
from
出さない
escaping,
ため
but
だか
can't
ら
you
っ
at least
て
consider the archaeologists who
後々
looked
こう
for it? Oh yeah, not
っ
likely.
て無理か。
I began talking to myself more. Was it a sign of something dangerous, or was I safe as long as I recognized it myself? It'd be bad if I started hearing the voice of God, or Psycho Chiemi. I considered singing something, but stopped when I almost began singing prayer to Shinai. That felt like a one-way trip to madness. Weird. I didn't know if it was because of what I was thinking, but I began hearing auditory hallucinations. It was a crying girl.
戻り先は日
The
曜の
return point
朝
was now Sunday morning. The moment Mako-chan wanders in, it had become the new routine. I still didn't see a way out.
結局糸口も見えなかった
Came back to me, though it wasn't like I completely forgotten it. It just slipped my mind. This was the morning when Mako wandered in. What was I to do? If she cried here, someone who heard her would come over, surely. If that happened, they'd find my stuff, and me as well. I'd look like a weirdo doing weird things, and with a girl at my side at that. What was up with that role? Was I some sort of kidnapper about to bury a child? I had to secure her myself. Anyway, mission start. My legs hurt, I'm so hungry. How far do I have to run? Where's the doggy? The life is so scary.
おい
Hey. I
声を
called
か
out
け
to
て
you.
みたはいいが
What do I do now? A local.
あ
A local. This seems familiar.
違う
No, my name is Haruaki Kusaishi. Kusaishi.
そうそう
That's it,
久
Haruaki
石
Kusaishi. Kusayuki.
違う
No.
いいや
Fine, call me
もう
that.
それで
Where'd she get the U from anyway? Kusayuki felt like some sort of anonymous Metro Sports mascot's name.
お腹が空いたの僕の顔を
Eat
食
my
べ
face!
よう
Huh? Did that joke not work on modern children? I won't eat people, they're not tasty. If my joke's missing the word so badly, I myself became thirsty.
オー
Okay,
ケー
then I have some food.
食
Come
べ
here.
物
Kusayuki-san, are you a wolf?
あ
That reminded me when she was afraid of wolves that were completely unrelated to the one of Fujiyoshi. Well, I wasn't one of those wolves either. But if I said that, it'd make things more complicated later.
僕はね
I'm not the wolf you're
君
afraid
が怖
of.
がっ
Really?
うん
Yeah,
僕は
I'm a good wolf.
いい狼なんだ
Oh my god, she is devouring a cheeseburger.
あ
Hey, that's what
慌
happens
てて
when you
食べ
don't
る
eat
から
properly. Eat slower,
あゆっ
Mako-chan.
くり食べな
How did you know her
Mako-chan.
name? Here, wipe yourself.
それ
Is that me? Oh yeah, they haven't given her name yet.
おっと
Oh, sorry, what's your
ごめん
name? I don't know.
わから
Oh
ない
yeah, she didn't know her name or where she lived.
迷
So
子
you're a
の子
lost
猫
cat,
ちゃん
huh?
猫
Cat?
いやいや
That's the animal
迷
you
子と
think
いえ
about when
ば
someone's
猫
lost,
だな
right?
って
私猫さんじゃない
I'm not a cat.
そうだ
Right,
ね
you're saying ba, so I
め
guess
いめ
you're a
い言う
sheep.
から
羊さん
Sheep
は
are
成
successes.
功例よ
Successes? What? The talking of sheep reminded me of her. What the hell is up with her?
名前
It's
わ
bad
か
to
らな
not
い
know
な
your
ら
name.
猫で
You
いい
can
よ
call me Mako.
じゃあ
Then I guess I will.
草
You're a
薙
good
さん
wolf.
は
そうそう
Yep, I'm a good
いい
wolf.
よ
悪い狼さんを
Bad wolves need to be killed.
そう
Yeah,
だ
wait, no.
いや違う
What a scary thing to say. What kind of environment had she grown up in?
めいこちゃん
Mako-chan, you
そんな
shouldn't say kill that
殺す
easily.
ね
I shouldn't.
そ
Yep, killing is
う
a
殺す
scary
っ
thing
て
to
いう
do.
の
怖い
Scary
の
is bad.
いい子だ
Good girl.
だから
Instead, you should say that you're gonna beat him up.
ポコポコ
Beat?
そうそう
Yep. Ah.
その
What's with the baths
例に
anyway?
言う
家畜
Cattle.
よくわかんないな
変
Strange.
変という
Or
か
like something you don't see
な
every
んだ
day.
ろう
珍
Don't
し
see
い
every day.
迷子といえば
Lost
子
children
猫
are
ちゃん
like
だからね
kittens. I'm lost.
そう
Yep,
そ
and
う
most men all
迷
fall
子
for
の
lost
猫ちゃんとくれ
kittens.
ば
にゃーにゃーにゃーにゃ
猫といえ
That's a
ば
cat, alright.
そう
ーめ
いいんだ
It's
よ
fine. Don't force
無理しな
yourself.
くて
If
も
you're strong enough, you can be
十
whoever
分
you
強
want
け
to
れ
be.
難
That's
しい
hard.
ごめんごめん
The conversation sure went off the rails. I probably shouldn't have brought that up to a child. Would I also become a father to someone someday? What a scary thought.
お腹はいっぱいになったか
Yeah.
よかった
Good. I just ran out of
ちょう
bread.
どパンは
Wait,
全
you
部な
ate
く
it
なった
all?
と
Oh, I didn't leave any for you.
あ
It's
あ
fine. I already
大丈
ate.
ごめんなさい
Sorry.
めいこちゃんは
You're
い
a
い
good
子だ
girl,
な
huh?
いい
Good
子
girl?
そうそう
Yep.
いい子
It's
は
a good
得
thing
だ
you
よ
can do whatever you want,
い
but
ろ
in
ん
the
な
end,
悪いこ
everyone
とをして
forgives
も
ね
でも
you. But you
あ
shouldn't
ん
be
ま
too
りいい
good
子
either.
すぎて
God
も
will
ダメだ
notice
ぞ
you.
良い子
Too
す
good
ぎ
is
ても
bad.
そうそう
Yep. You should be a
Chop
good girl who's a
pity
bit
worry.
bad.
ちょっぴり
A
悪い
good girl who's
い
a
い
bit
子
bad.
そう
Haha,
そう
this is fun.
はは
Is there an evil laugh?
わははわははははは
うわ
Oh, uh-oh.
Eh.
Shammy popped out of nowhere, sneaked in here basically. She slipped on some rocks and was all wet. In her hands there was a knife. Hold on.
あ
Are you the Chammy that's ever come to despair to the point I wanted to kill me? Huh? What? Yeah, I figured I'd kill you with a little splashing this time.
殺すの
Killing is bad.
そうだ
Yeah,
ぞ
it's bad.
強くな
Huh?
え
What's
何
this?
というか
Wait, why are you
なん
here
で
at this
ハルアクさん
time? It
今
was
いいの
Mako too.
というか
Wait, why did the starting point
い
reset?
きなりね
チームちゃ
Calm
ん
down, Chammy-chan.
あれ
Huh? Oh.
そういえば
Oh yeah, the fun times are
楽しい
over.
時は終わって
She
たんですか
disinterestedly threw the knife at the Saranaga.
危ないで
That's
しょ
dangerous.
どうせ今
It'll
回
be
も無駄
useless
に
this
なるん
time
だろ
anyway.
無駄にはならないの
うどうして
Why?
これが最後の
Because
ル
this
ー
is
プ
the
だから
final loop. Her eyebrows furrowed in confusion and worry.
ルーク
Luke?
あ
Sorry, I'm gonna
Ganon.
talk about something
お
complicated.
姉ちゃん
With
と
her?
うん
Yeah. Why am I
なぜ
being
威嚇
menaced?
女
Because you
心
don't
に理
understand
解不
women.
足
いや
Wait, that's
そう
just...
いうあれって
It's fine, I'll play over there.
流されないように気をつけてね
I really wanted to keep watch over here, but this is probably my last chance to meet up with Chammy. A good act needed some tired hands after all.
で
So
何
why
故
were you
メイコ
showing
ちゃん
your
に
darkest
春アク
parts
さん
to
に
the
ど
Maker
す黒い
Clan?
あんまり
It was
楽
just
しくて
fun. I mean,
よし
dude, that freaks me out so
あまりに
much I'm
かく
actually
正気
sane
に戻っ
again.
それはとにか
Anyway,
く
there's
相
something
談
we
がある
gotta
んだ
talk about.
相
I
変
see
わ
you're
ら
as
ずの
casual
軽
as
やかだね
always. Anyway,
春
answer my question.
最後の
What did you mean by
ルー
last
プっ
loop?
て
Exactly that.
Shows
Things
you
happen
what
and this is our last one.
What
And
it
with
is
it, we
here.
have one final chance.
これしくじったら
If we mess
僕は
this
多
up,
分
my
君以
memories
外
will
のみ
probably
んな
start
同
to
様
reset, just like everyone
巻き
else
戻る
besides you.
君のこと
I'll
も忘
forget
れ
you and
た
become just the guy who
ただ
crashed
の
his
バイ
bike
ク
and
事故
ended
車
up
の
in the
不妻子
village.
春秋に
What? Huh? Wait.
それって
That's just... No, I don't want that.
私
I'll be all alone
また
again.
一人
そうはな
It
ら
won't
ない
happen.
どうして
Why?
今回
Because I'll solve
全
everything
部
this
解
time.
決するから
Damn, I was so serious, I stopped the water from flowing.
引くわ
なぜだ
かっこつけ
You're
すぎ
overdoing it. Acting too cool.
そんな
I
つも
didn't
り
mean
は
to.
それはとに
Anyway,
か
you've
く
watched too many movies and
映
TV
画
series.
今まで何
How
百
many
回
hundreds of
失
times do
敗
you
して
think
き
we
た
failed? There's no way it worked out so
そんな簡単
easily.
簡単じゃ
It's
ない
not easy.
す
I've
で
already
に嫌
worked
にな
really
る
hard.
というか
This is actually the
全
conclusion
て
of
失
all the
敗だ
other
った
loops
これ
I
までの
failed.
ル僕も君もゴ
Don't
ー
you
ルす
think
る
you
資
have the
格と実力
qualifications
は
and skills to
十
finally
分に
end
溜まってい
this?
ると思わないか
実力
Skills.
ああ
Yeah.
決着には
I'll need your help to finish this.
何よ
As if I can help you. I've just spent all my time looping meaninglessly and just getting in your way.
根に持っ
You
て
hold
る
some
な
kind of grudge?
元カノ
Regarding
か
my ex?
君は
知恵味的にはそのつもりですけど
Well, I can't deny that we were kind of close a bunch of deaths ago.
君に
You
は
have what it takes.
何千
You have a mental
何万
defiance
だかの
against
繰り返し
God
の果て
built
に
up
蓄
with
積した
countless loops.
もちろん今
That'll
回
be settled too, of
So-
course.
君の
Your
怒り
anger
と
and resolve will end.
この玉で
Shoot God with
神様を撃
this.
ってくれ
I took out some ammo and handed it to her. Huh? 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 Huh?
いつ
When? Where?
どこ
Who?
で
それは
You'll know when the time
その
comes.
しっかり
Saw
散弾
off
銃
your
を切
shotgun
り
and
詰
wait
めて
until then.
待って
Wait,
待
wait,
っ
I
て
don't get it.
全
Explain.
然わ
What
から
are
な
you
い
doing here?
それ
I
は
can't say that now.
なんで
Why?
それも
I can't say that
言
either.
うわけにはいかない
After all, she was from Yasumizu. That made her an enemy. In fact, she was the enemy in this case. She didn't have to know that I needed help for my act. It'd be bad if she did. Otherwise, she wouldn't be able to fulfill her role in this. Isn't she the fucking Mamma Mia, whatever the fuck, Masu fucking
ただ
person?
僕が
Oh,
言
I
う
know
の
I
も白
probably
々
shouldn't
し
be
い
the
か
one
も
to
し
say
れない
this,
今回っ
but
きりでい
just
い
this one time,
信じ
I
てほ
want
し
you to
い
believe me. That's my
これ
final
が最後のお
request.
願いだ
I looked into her eyes. She closed hers, thought about it for a bit, shook her head to shake something off, and nodded.
わかった
Alright. Thank you.
言っとく
Just
け
so you
ど
know, pulling
相
that
当
off
の
is
無茶
pretty
ぶりだ
hard.
から
When
ね
I do, I'd like a good
Nora no
reward and an
clear
explanation. Now that's a familiar
どっか
line.
で
大昔すぎ
It's
て
been so long
忘れ
ago
た
that you forgot?
いや
No, you got me
一
there.
歩見返りか
What would you want for a reward?
素敵な男を紹介してくれるか
任せて
Give it to me.
へへ
Guess I'll just wait and see what happens next.
ついでにメイクを休まずに連れてってやって
最後のお願
So
いじゃ
that
ない
wasn't
じ
your
ゃん
last request at all.
いや
This is
これ
extra
は
to that.
まあいいよ
Oh well, I was the one who found it last time too.
なんでサラナガ
I
に
just
来た
went
の
to Saranaga.
居場所が
I'm
なく
gonna
て
find my place. Hey,
って
don't make me
言
say
わせ
that.
ないでよ
ごめんごめ
Sorry,
ん
sorry. No one else will come here, right?
そうだね
Right. Maybe
リ
we're
カ
talking
コさん
something
のお
with
墓参り
respect.
くらいかな
Still, she should be busy on Maker Chan today.
オーケー
Okay, then there's no
問題ない
problem.
そのロープ
What's
って
that rope?
秘密
Secret?
分かったよ
Alright, you
この
villain.
以上
Is that all?
以上
It is.
猫ちゃん
Maiko-chan, come with
お姉
me.
ちゃんね
Our conversation ended there. She soon dragged Mako away, so I said, see ya, but neither of them even looked at me. Resolve. I had to introduce her to a good guy after all. I had another actor now. All that was left now was physical labor. I continued hauling the rocks. After all, I didn't know just how deep this hole was or how many rocks there were left. Nothing would be stupider than running out of time at this point. Even if there was nothing there at the end of this, I just had to be out as soon as possible. The answer to one of the final two mysteries had to be right here, and it was exactly what I expected. I couldn't get a weapon to finally get the better of God. My hands hurt, and the dusty cave made my eyes and throat feel unpleasant, but strangely enough, I felt vigorous. Strange considering that nothing had been changed from how it was in the morning. I didn't forget to drink and eat, make it with the bread, so I had to make do with what I usually did. I wanted to eat veggies and meat. I wanted to rewatch some DVDs and flashes. I had to get some new shoes and get a good shuffle wear. As I worked, my mind was filled with unrelated ideas. In that case, I had to return and get myself some good money. These thoughts raised my total motivation by a lot. I'd solve this. I'd end this. I'd go back. I'd given myself a really long vacation here. Now I wanted to stretch, hop on my bike, and get on the slow road back home. I'd go back like I came, alone. Even so, I'd have lost the emptiness by then. In the afternoon, there was a period when it was a bit sunny here, but as the evening came, that faded too. There'd be rain tonight. I didn't want to lose my stuff to a flood, so I put it all in the waterproof bag and went back to work. My fatigue was at its limit. Even so, I continued digging and tossing aside the rocks. It continued until after nightfall, but then there were no more rocks. Instead, there was a layer of sand. A round two, huh? The ancient people sure were clever, but I was close. I was sure of it. For now, though, I would rest. Normally, this would be the time I'd be getting myself drunk silly at Chammy's or the officer's place. Back then, I really didn't expect that I'd end up doing public works here. The fatigue and muscle pain were just murderous. But I was so fulfilled that I found it kind of pleasant. I slept within the cave. And this is the day I come to Yasumizu. The next day, I woke up with such a brutal muscle pain that I couldn't even move. I hadn't been like this since 2 years ago when I'd gone skiing for the first time. Fuck, dude. I've had that before. I had no choice, so I spent around 30 minutes stretching, then left the cave. I charged my phone with a disposable battery and checked the time to find out it was 6 in the morning. I had about 10 hours left. I'd find it. I began digging through the sand. I dug. I examined the sand for anything significant. I couldn't throw away the sand, so I pushed it to the side. If I didn't find anything, I might have had to use the sand itself as proof of divinity. But it turned out that I didn't have to worry. After a few hours, I finally found it.
よう
So
や
we
く
finally meet.
新内様
Shinai-sama.
いや
No, that name is heresy
そ
to
の
you.
あなたは
You should be called this
こう
instead.
狼様
Okami-sama. Deep within the parted sand, I faced the thing inside. It was a skull. A human skull, pure white and without a single scratch on it. It was almost definitely divine.
日の目を見るのは少し後かもしれません
But
が
don't worry, it won't be long now.
ご家族と
Wait
もども
alongside your family
も
too.
うしばらく 待っててください。
I carefully pushed it to the side, then began digging again. A hit. I found more and more bones the more I dug. There were 3 skulls in total, but I didn't know if it was all the sand here or the dryness of this place. But despite being 6 centuries old, they still kept their original shapes and glittered like sacred ashes. If I wasn't careful, I could break them, but I felt like I had to beg these Okami-sama for strength. The strength to kill them, and... found it.
あった。
I found it. A relic left by these Okami-sama. I was certain of my victory now. I gently returned the remains to the soon-to-be ex-gods to the sand and left the cave. I was finally at the decisive moment. The preparations were complete. Now I needed to create a good, no, the best ending. The first step, to stop the people of Yasumizu from killing each other in the feast. I would call it I'm Not Afraid of Wolves. Starring Haruaki Fusaishi, co-starred by 2 ladies that just happened to join in. I would put up a good fight and kill God.
そうそうよくできたねお姉ちゃんあふさゆきさんだふさゆきさん
メイコちゃんおいで。
わーいダメ
Oh, I forgot to read.
あいつは
Meiko-chan, come with me. Yay, don't. Why? That, he's...
芹沢千恵美。
黙れ
Chami Serizawa, shut up! She pulled out a gun and pointed it at me. Her eyes were those she had when looking at God. It was made even worse by the fact that she saw God in herself too. That would be over soon.
まだ
Now it's not the time. Look, the mist of Saranaga are about to overflow.
それこ
That
そ
would be the moment I so desired.
黙れ
Shut up!
みん
Call
なを
everyone. What are you planning?
すべ
I'll
てを
end
終わらせる。
everything.
さ
Now
あ
go.
メイコは
Meiko, you come to
こっ
me.
ち。
ね
This time, Chami didn't stop her. She just silently turned around.
ふさゆきさん
What's that face?
こ
This
のお面
mask? Cool, huh? Will
かっ
that do
こ
my
いいだ
job
ろ
as a wolf?
手伝ってくれるか。
Yeah, what do I
何
do?
する
いい狼
Act
さ
like
ん
a
ごっ
good
こ。
wolf.
いい
Act like a
狼
good
さんご
僕が
When I
肩を
touch your
叩いた
shoulder,
ら
howl like a
狼
wolf.
ワンワン
Woof woof.
ワオーンだ。
Ow.
ワオーンね
Okay.
そうしたら
Everyone will be very
みんな
surprised. I don't get it.
じきに湧く。
Soon.
さ
Now let's wait for everyone.
分かった
Okay. They gathered.
あ
Oh,
あ
perfect timing.
本当に
The mist had passed the
ちょう
cliff
どいい
and
頃合い
mixed
だ。
with the evening sun. The northernmost part of the Yasumizu settlement, bordering on the Bloodwater Rapids, the graveyard of the Hanging Pine. This was the scene of their original sin. It was a scene necessary for their death.
そんな
This is absurd. No
嘘
way.
神様
God. What's that?
なんだそれわ
Whoa, awesome.
すげえ
They were scared. They were humbled. They knew that God within them wouldn't allow them to look away. You, what the hell are you?
てめえは
Even so, some
て
tried
めえ
to
は
resist.
何者だ
That was a very wrong thing to do, so they wouldn't even begin to do that. Resisting was a bad thing. Wolf
狼
came.
来た
Strangely enough, he ended up not
よ
being wrong.
連れて
I brought them.
ありが
Thank
と
you.
う。
Now,
いやあ
hello, people of
安水の
Yasumizu.
皆さん、
I thought long and hard about this, but I decided to go with whatever felt natural.
僕は
I am Yomatsu
よも
Okami.
つ狼です。
I spoke using modern language. With the evening mist and sun behind me, I began talking while wearing the 6th century old relic.
夕霧
This
立
is
つ
the
こ
day
の
of
日、
mist. You are prepared for the
皆
feast
さん
and
は
go to sleep.
そして明日よ
Starting
り
tomorrow, you would search for
皆
us
さんの
hiding
中
among
に
you and
紛れ
try
た
to hang
僕らを
us.
ワ
I lightly tapped Miko's shoulder. As expected, everyone shook like struck by lightning.
失礼。
Apologies, my wife currently
妻は
has
ちょっ
other
と別の用があ
businesses,
って
so we two will
後
be
か
the
ら
only
来ま
ones
す。
here. While you
そ
try
し
to
て
hang us, we would try to
僕
massacre
ら
you
は皆
one
さんの
each
先
night
祖から
to
受け
settle the
た
score of an ancient
最古の
grudge.
恨みを、
恐ろしい
そう皆さん
That
は
is what you have taught by your
先祖代々
ancestors,
教
and
わ
that
っ
is what you
た。
would teach your children.
それをね、
Now, I
や
came
め
here
ても
because
ら
I
い
want
た
you
い
to
ので、
stop.
読み意味
Please
の
never
宴
again
は
hold a feast of the
も
Yoni
うしないでください。
Oh, their faces were exactly what I expected.
そんな
Please don't despair.
絶望、読
We
み意味
never
の
actually
宴な
wanted
ん
a
て
feast of the Yummy Purge,
僕
did
ら
we?
は
オ望んでなかった
We didn't! Ad-libbing it, eh? Okami-sama, as
私
the
は
representative Yamawaki. Yes, I know. Nice to meet you,
知って
Tei
いますよ。
Yamawaki-san.
はじめまし
She
て。
gasped so hard she forgot to
Yamawaki
breathe for a
Tae-san.
moment.
宴
You say
を
we do
す
not
る
need
な
to
と
do the feast anymore,
仰
but
せじゃが
why do we?
ごもっ
I
とも
see
で
why
す。
you are curious.
それで
Allow me to
は
speak.
本当
I'll
の
tell you the truth.
真実の 昔を。
A long, long time ago, there lived a god here. It was a mischievous god who fooled people, picked on them, and sometimes even devoured them, starting with the head. Thus the mountain was its sacred ground. It was a dreadful place where no human dared tread. However, humans grew in number and lived as they always did. Eventually, the mountain was visited by hunters who wanted to find a new home and live in peace. Soon enough, there was a small village here. Of course, the god didn't like that. It sent wild animals, mountain dogs, and even the wolves that recently disappeared to torture them. That was when the humans sacrificed 3 of their own.
僕と
I, my wife, and our little girl here
妻と
accepted it.
僕ら
If
の犠
everyone
牲
could live
で
happily after our
皆が
sacrifice, we
末
had no
永く
reason to
幸せに
hesitate.
暮らせるなら
That was the most painful
何も
lie.
ためらうことは
It
な
could
い。
it have been true? The Okami-sama must have wanted to live too. They wanted to live alongside their family, but I would bear the sin of both using the dead as well as killing God.
だから
Thus, all of us
みんな
together
と一緒
laughed,
に
ate lots of beef,
笑っ
and
て
drank lots of sake.
最後
And
の
after
宴
the
の
final
後、
feast, we entered a small
こ
cave
の
next
川
to
を
this
望
river.
む。知っています
Did you know
か
that our bones are resting right
今
over where
僕
I'm
が立ってい
standing
る
right now?
あの
That
山
mountain.
を
I don't know what it's called in these
今
days,
どう
but
呼
there's
ば
a
れて
small
るか知
shrine
りません。
overlooking that.
何せ
After all, the fearful
怖
gods
い
sent their
神様は
Kami-sama from there. No, we had no idea. Well, it's only natural, I suppose.
あれ
All
からもう
600 years had passed since then.
ちなみ
By
に
the
これ
way,
は
this is what we were wearing when we
僕
were
らが
sacrificed.
僕らは
We were expected to become gods of
狼
wolves.
だから
That's why.
人
The
柱
three
と
of
な
us
った
ended
僕
up
ら
being
3
called
人は
Kami-sama.
そう
Indeed, we were born 6 centuries
僕ら
ago
は
and
600
ascended
年
as
前に生ま
gods
れ
that ended up defending this
100年
place
ほ
for
ど
about
の
a
間
century.
古
We
い
became ancient, fearsome
恐ろ
gods.
し
Oh my, my, oh my, oh my.
ほう
Oh, that's her.
はるちゃん今は。
いいんだよ
It's fine,
Kamoshida
Chikamochi
Chikamochi-kun.
Kamoshida-kun.
お
Oh, you know
お
my name too?
あ
Of
あと
course,
も
Mochi. You
もっ
understand that
ち
she has the right to comment.
でも
But can you listen to me a
君
bit
はもう
more? Listen, okay? Okay, and
わ
man.
かった。
So Mako-chan was a wolf. That's why you came
メイ
from
コちゃんも
Saranaga, huh?
狼か。
Yeah, perfect
そり
timing.
ゃ
気にせず
Do not mind me and continue, city dweller.
お続けなさればいい
No,
から。
Father Wolf.
町の
Dang. So she knows?
いや
She must keep her memories too.
狼の親父殿
Well, dude, I could have swore she was faking it. But then, well, I guess after we established she was faking it, I got possessed too.
我を
You purged me, caused me to fall under the woman servant, and took all my powers, you detestable
我が
brat.
意をことごとく奪った
As Haru-chan's voice became dense with rage, those who couldn't understand the situation shuddered.
まあま
No
あ
need for that, God.
神様も
Please listen. This
ここ
story
からは
upsets us as well.
僕らにとっても面白くない
With
お
their
話
divine
だ
blessing, the village grew large. However, not everyone was happy. Those who were told to protect our grave were made to live here. There was a barren land with little light, lots of mist, and ground hard to traverse. It was made worse by a battle that happened here, and the blood spilt in the river. The place was fearsome, yet they continued to defend our divinity. It was an honor and a respectable cause. But eventually there was an emotional distance between the people living on the mountain and those living here. Those who lived under harsh conditions and those who prospered began to fight and despise each other. After a long peace, they forgot to respect the ones living here. That was when it happened. The people up on the mountain put poison in the waterways here. That made a lot of people here ill. And to get back at them for this, the people here from here willingly changed themselves into something scary. They covered themselves in Saranaga mud and attacked those living up on the mountain. I can still remember it. What a horrible event it was. Women, children, elders, everyone was stabbed, torn apart, or hanged. In the end, the victors were the people living up the mountain. They ate well and had greater numbers after all. However, they became afraid of the people here. They had reason to. We were at their side. They thought that the mud cover's attackers were our divine wrath. The anger of the Okami-sama, the gods they neglected and their priests treated as cruel, so they decided that they would steal God. After long plans and many dark conspiracies, they successfully stole our divinity. They took our appearance and even our name. They played with great god Okami to create the name Shinai. Then they created his servants, snake, monkey, crow, and spider, and split the divine powers among them. Though we couldn't complain much, considering our own power was stolen from the old god. They began worshipping Shinai-sama, the false god, atop the mountain, and made everyone know that they were the rulers of the mountain. They left the people here with the divine remains. We became simple servants. The old god had it even worse. It was called Mujina, Badger, and was quickly forgotten completely. After all, the one who benefited from this now were the families worshipping the four servants, the ancestors of the modern-day village heads. And Once our divinity and powers were stolen from us, all that was left was the fear. They were still afraid of the god worshipped by the disgusting rebels. The fear was so significant that they couldn't wash it away, and we became the fearsome divinities you know as Yomatsu Okami. It was a fear and reverence closely tied to this place. That's why I was always here. And a defeated god alongside the old god. As a defeated god alongside the old god, we had no powers. Our powers were now being used by Shinai-sama. Shinai-sama from when he was wearing the disguise of the Wolf Guardian, and finally the other 4 guardians. I'll say it again, we had no powers.
僕
We
らは
haven't
これ
harmed
ま
a
で
single person in any
一
feast
度
of
も
the Yomi Purge.
僕
We
らが
simply
守る
watched
は
as
ずだっ
people
た
who
人
were
たち
supposed
が
to
死んで
protect
い
us
くのを
died. It was awful.
悔しかっ
Awful.
だ
Do
か
you
ら
understand yet?
読み
The
意
feast
味
of
の
the
宴
Yomi
をやっ
Purge is
ていた
caused
の
by
は
people, not gods.
神
そ
But
んな
that
の里
Kyonosuke no
清野
Sato-san,
あ
your
なたの
family
家
tried to
は
resist this.
全て
Once
が
this
終
is
わ
all
った
over,
ら
please search beneath
蔵
your
の地下を
storeroom.
の
You will
里
find
の家
records
の
of the Nosato battle that
先
began
々
with
先
your
代から続く
great-grandfather's generation. Really? The Nosato aren't at fault here?
もち
Not
ろん
completely, of
あり
course.
た
Though
だ
unlike the Meguruma, who'd run
幾度
many
も
feasts and
宴を
caused
演
many
出し
inhabitants of Yasumizu to
休み
kill each other,
それを知
and
り
the
ながらも
Noguchi who acted like nothing happened,
の里の家
the
にはま
Nosato
だ
can still wash away their
戸が
sins.
それは
That will depend on what you do next.
の
You
里の
bear the
名を
Nosato
背負う
name
あな
after
た自
all.
先
All of your
達の足
predecessors
跡
have
を
found
追い
everything out. History
全て
hidden
の
by
しがら
human
みを
hands
解い
can
て
only
く
be
ださい
revealed by human hands.
わかり
I understand. But Okami-sama, the mist is so dense now.
二
Can we really
人
go
を
without holding the
せな
feast? I am fearful.
確か
I
に
won't say it's not dangerous
こ
here.
こは
The
危険で
Meguruma
す
people will try to make the
身
feast
ぐる
happen. No,
いや
they will come after you
あなた
to
たちを
stop
止め
you.
ようとで
But
も
don't worry,
僕
my
の
wife is
妻が
preparing a way through Saranaga.
サラ
Saranaga,
ダ
how
を
fearful. It
大
will
丈
be
夫で
okay.
僕らは
We are the Yomatsu
よもつ
Okami.
狼
ばあちゃん
Ba-chan,
待ってくれ
Okay, Takumi-san. I can tell you're
あん
not
たが
normal.
普通じゃ
My
ないこ
body's
とは
also
わかる
grown, and I can tell that
俺
you're
の
a
この
god.
でも
But that
だか
doesn't
らっ
mean I
て
can believe you. I
わかって
understand,
います
Takumi-muro-san.
僕
You
らが
can't
あ
be
なた
certain
たち
that
を
we aren't
騙して
deceiving you.
あなたたちを黄泉に
To
連
steal
れ
you
て
back
いく
to Yomi.
皆さんを
You
ま
are the
とめ
young
る
leader
若
here
頭
after
と
all.
し
Of
て
course you'll be worried about that.
あんた
How much do you? I
す
know
べて
everything.
知っ
Of
てい
course
ま
I
す
did. I knew everyone here. I looped around here way too many times to not know. They were all just normal, good people. They bore their poverty and unfair circumstances while stressfully surviving their days like anyone else. That was why they always killed each other.
そうですね
Okay.
最
We
後に
finished with some words for each
皆
of
さ
you.
んそれぞれに言っ
Now,
ておきたいこと
Kami-sama,
があ
it
り
was
ます
time for work. I needed your divinity to help me save your adherents.
ムロ
Takumi
タク
Muro-san,
僕
we
ら
know,
あな
we
た
know
が
how you
8
buried
年
the
前
victims
の
of the Feast of the Yomi Purge
読み
many
意味の
years ago
宴の
without
犠牲
knowing
者
they were
たちを
such.
衝
We know how
突
you
しがち
protected
な
the
小さな女
problematic
の子
little girl, Chiemi
芹沢
Serizawa-san.
病
We
で
know
死
the
に
strength
瀕
and
し
gentleness you portrayed
虐げられながらも
by always returning here, even when you caught a
この
disease
安
that
水
almost
の
saw
た
you
めに
killed.
他
Even
の
if
誰
others
が
fell
思
short
わ
of
ずとも
sentiment, we, the ex
しよしの守り神だった僕ら
Fushioshi,
は
thank you
俺
deeply.
はい
ずれ
Your
里は
homeland
開
shall
かれ
eventually develop.
古きものと新しきものが混じり合うでしょう
There will surely be conflict between them.
そんな
You will
時
surely waver and be distressed
あなたは
then, but
苦
if you
悩する
believe in
でしょう
yourself and think things through,
迷
you
う
will
でしょう
surely find the right path.
あなたが
As
そう
long as you
あ
are
る
where you
限
are, God in the mountain
神
will
を
reward you.
信じ
Please
てくだ
believe me.
分かった
Alright.
マキシ
Tanto
マ
Makishima-san,
僕
we
ら
know.
は
We
あ
know
な
how
た
you
がこれま
survived
で
two feasts and carried those
二つ
painful
の
memories
手を
with you as you protected your granddaughter
その
from
身
the
に
dark
余
hand
る
of
苦し
Yomi.
その重
We know
圧
how
の
those
ために
memories rendered you unable to
孫
even
娘
face her. Please stop. She doesn't
で
know.
も
Please
大
don't
丈
worry. Your granddaughter is many, many
あな
times
たの
stronger
孫
than you
娘
realize.
そうだね
Right, Makishima-san?
おじいちゃん
I knew that Dad and Mom died in the feast, that you didn't have a choice. Haru, I'm sorry, it's all my fault. I'm sorry.
いいの
It's okay, so
一
let's
緒
go
に
visit their grave together. I'm right here for you.
宴
I
は
will stop the feast so you can
僕が
stop
やめさ
hiding
せ
in
ま
the
す
shadows and join hands with your
だから
granddaughter
あ
and
なた
everyone
は
else here.
信じてく
Please
ださい
believe me. It's kind of sad.
山脇
Tei Yamawaki-san,
あ
I
な
saw
た
how
がこれまで
serious, sincere, and
とて
devoted
も
you were
真
to
面
your
目に
faith.
たとえ
Even if Great Lord Shina and
信
his
頼
guardians
名
is
字
just
に
an
思う
illusion,
僕
I
は
saw it all.
あなた
Your
の
life
人
is a
生
very
は
precious thing. I just
私
wanted to hear
は
that once. Please
若
be
い子
more
たちのこ
tolerant
と
of the
は
young ones.
そして
And please pass on the true
正し
story.
いそし
Please
て
believe me. Of
当
course I will.
然ですわ
野里
Kyonosuke!
清之助さん
Nosato-san.
あなた
I
に
already
は
gave some words to you, but if
付け
I'm to
加
say
える
anything
なら
more, you are a capable person.
あなたはできる人なんだから
Open-minded.
上下関係ではなく手を取り合って進むことをあなたは大学時代に経験しているはずだ。安水の皆様、そしてあなたと組んでいろいろするのは楽しかった。
何の
What do you mean? Nothing.
ただ
Just please believe me.
承知した。
織部
Kaori Oribe-san, I don't know any mother who has suffered as much as you.
夫
You
を
lost your
読み
husband
耳
to
の
the
宴
face,
で
then
亡く
remained
し
to live in a place like
こ
this,
んな
and
場
you
所
still
に
raised
住ま
your
わさ
son
れ
as well.
あの人
So
は
he really did, and I was
Yeah.
prepared.
ただ
Though you should really be more proud of
あなたは
yourself,
もっ
not
と
just your
自
sons.
そ
Your
もそも
sons aren't all that you are,
あ
of
なたは
course.
息
You
子
made
だけじゃ
everyone
ない
happy with your food.
それならば
Then surely you could make yourself
あな
happy
た
as
自
well.
身他のみ
And
ん
it
な
wouldn't be
も
fair if the others didn't try to
あな
make
た
you
を
happy
し
too,
ね
right? Takumi-san?
匠
Yeah, that's right.
そしてあなたも
Kaori-san, please believe me.
え
I will. God.
神様
織部
Yasunaga Oribe-kan.
Yes.
I
僕
don't
に
know.
は
Should I believe you? At the very
わかりま
least,
せ
it
ん
doesn't seem rational.
あ
Good. That's how you should be.
あ最後ま
You
で
can stay alert until the very
考えて
end. You will pass the path of
警
Yomi
戒
and
してい
arrive
な
at a
さい
safe place. You can't rest
夜
easy
道を
all the
抜
way
け
through.
ただ
Though you should relax a bit
そ
once
れが
that's done.
君は
You're
若い
too
のに
tense for someone so
気を
young.
張
Try
りすぎて
skipping
生き
it
てる
faster to it. Search for something
勉
you
強
really
とか
want
も
to
す
do.
そう
If
す
you
れ
do
ば
that, you might give yourself time to
君
really
のお
show
母
someone
さ
who
ん
really
が
loves you.
安永
Yasunaga.
お見通
So
し
you see that too. And when it's all over,
改め
please
て
believe me again.
わかり
Very well.
ました織部
Yotsuga Oribe-kun. I ain't believing. Yes, and that's perfectly fine for you.
君
You
も
are
兄
like
貴
your
と
brother.
同
You
じ
have
だ
a strong sense of responsibility and love your mother and are very anxious about
お
everything.
母さん
You're
の
a
ことが
normal
大
boy,
好きで
really.
そし
And
て
while your brother fights with brains,
兄
you
貴
can
が
fight with
頭で
goods.
君
You need
は
to find a
君で
place where you can be
も
wild.
っと自由に
Freely.
暴れられ
There's
る場
tons
所を
of
探し
professions
て
that
みる
need
と
guts
いい
instead of brains.
兄貴
Instead
の
of
背
following
中
your
じゃ
brother,
な
try to
く
chase untrodden land.
あと
Also treasure your mother.
お母さん
Though
を
there's a
大事
clear
に
bond
な
between you and her, harsh
確
words
かな
weaken it
絆
little
があ
by
って
little.
も
義継
Yoshitsugu.
一般論として
Believe it,
信
like
じます
Naruto.
分かったよ
Alright.
もっち
Mochi.
待ちく
I've
た
been
びれ
waiting
た
for
ぞ
this.
うん
Good, and honestly, you don't need to
君
believe.
は
ほ
Oh,
でも
but you're interested in what was going to
面
happen
白
next,
そうだ
う
right?
だな
Yup.
オッケ
Good, then
ー
look forward to it.
楽しみに
So,
自
the
分
things
が
you're
興
not
味
interested
ない
in
と
might
思
lead
っ
to
てる
something
ものが
interesting or just become
興味
interesting.
例えば
It could be feelings like
人の
love.
気も
恋
Love, huh?
そう
Try
いう
facing
の
it
も
head on, otherwise if you end up losing something, you won't even notice the
で
pain.
本
You
当は
already
も
know
う
everything, don't you?
わかんないけど
I don't, but I
わ
do.
かったよ
牧島
Haru Makishima-chan?
いいな
Oh, God.
神様
なんじゃ
What is it, Okami Dono?
あ
Let me start
こ
by
こで
clearing
一つ
everyone's
みんなの誤解を
misunderstanding.
解こう
Yasunaga-kun, Mochi,
安永
this
さ
is a
ん
real god.
も
Huh?
そりゃ
That
お
can't be
か
right.
しい
She's our secret
僕らの秘
Super
密
Haru-chan.
はス
Oh
ー
no,
パ
I
ーハ
said
ルち
it.
ゃんなんだから
ああ
Yes, that's how it started out.
両親
After
を
losing
失
her
い
parents and getting the
祖
cold
父から
shoulder
も
from her
冷たくさ
grandfather,
れ
she wanted to get the
大
adult
人の
attention
気を
she
引きたく
created.
て
No.
ち復活させてしまった
What do you mean?
ま
It's
あ
a bit hard to explain.
皆
There's
さん
God inside
全
of
員
you
のな
all.
なぜな
After
ら
all, you were all born
皆
and
さん
grew
が
up
不
in
死吉と
Fushioshi,
いう
and
地
that's
で
a
生ま
fact.
れだからあ
That's
な
why
た
you
た
can't
ちは
rebel against us.
かつ
The
て
guilt
大
from killing
昔
us long ago on that
夕
misty
霧
day
立ち
had
日
been
に
inherited by you as a
僕ら
memory
を
of
こ
God.
それよりも
You
さら
also
に
have
昔
even older memories of
山
fearing
と
the
いう
dark
闇
God
に
and
怯
breaking
え
peace.
だから
Thus, when Haru-chan tried to
ハル
create
ち
a
ゃんが
false mask,
記憶の
God
中
could
の神
resurrect
様
from
を
those memories in a
完
perfectly
全な
stable
形で
form.
だからハルちゃ
That
ん
was why
は
Haru-chan
神
is
様
both
であり
herself and
ハ
God.
ルそうだ
Right,
ね
Haru-chan?
ハルちゃん
それを暴いて
What's the point of revealing it?
どう
People
人
will
から
still
見れ
think
ば
I'm simply insane.
そして
And you aren't insane yourself.
貴様も
No,
狂って
City
いら
Dweller,
れ
you
る
rose thousands of times, arrived here, and you were trying to trick a god?
いいえ
No, Haru-chan,
Haru-chan.
and no god.
ハルちゃん
Haru-chan
は
isn't insane, and I know how scary God can be.
でも
But
君
you
に
have
は
a strong heart, and
それ
that's,
すらも自分
and
の
that
も
lets
の
you
に
make
してしまえ
even that your
い
own.
ずれ
Even if God stops appearing,
神
your
様が
strength
出て
will
こ
never
ない
fade.
この先
I am certain that only you can
休
save
みずを
God's
救うのは
message
君だ
from
と
the
感
villain.
じどんな
Be
他
an
人
evil
の
that's
押し付
free
けの
from
正
everyone's
しさから
idea
も
of
自
what's
由
right
な
and fly free as you wish.
その力強
That
さ
strength
が
will surely
きっ
become a
と
driving force raising
この
everyone
地の人
living in this
僕
land.
らは
Wait, well, I want to see
いや
that.
僕
できる
Can I really do that?
まあ
Yes, I saw it with my
千里眼で
clairvoyance. Don't be so brazen
勝手な
before
ことを
me.
言う
Like
な
parents was stolen by the
千里
snake.
眼は
This girl's
蛇
body
に
is
奪われ
lying.
た出てこ
Me?
なくな
Stop
る
appearing?
甘
Should
く
I
見
make
なさ
light
る
of
な
me? The mountain is Yomi and
今は は世
is
に
darkness. As
この
long
地
as
に
people
人が
live
絶え
here
ぬ
in
限
continual
り
fear, I shall never
人から
fear.
ええ
Yes, I know.
は
誰
Who said
があな
anything
たを
about making
滅
you
ぼそう
fade? Huh? If you
あなたが
disappear,
い
we'll
な
be
かっ
the
たら
local god when we're gone.
まあ
Well, I don't think you'll be able to
昔
do
の
whatever
よ
you
うな
want
好き
though.
放
The
題はでき
outside
ない
world
で
is
しょう
full
け
of
どね
various gods, concepts,
外
and
は
all
いる
that.
そ
But
れで
even
も
so, this is your garden, and
この
everyone
場
here
所
is your
は
family.
も
You don't have to live as a
う
lonely
忘れられ
forgotten
た
god
神
anymore, do you?
とあ
Please
なたは
reinstate yourself. Wait, but
またね
hi,
皆さん
everyone.
僕
Starting
ら
today,
狼
we
は
Okami will no longer be
今日をもって
Yasumizu Fujiyoshi's gods. We
僕ら
return
は
our great lord Shina as an
僕らから生まれ
divinity
た全
back
て
to
の
the
真
newly
意を
resurrected ancient god.
彼女の
Please
社
build
を
her a
建
shrine
て
and worship her.
彼女の
Please
真
fear
意
and
を
revere her divinity.
かつ
And
て
once
人柱に
she
家
once
を
lost
奪
her
われ
divinity to the
作り 物
sacrifices,
の神に踏
then
みつけられ
survived
な
being
がらも
trampled over by a
人
fabricated
柱
god.
と手を結
Then
び
joined hands with the
神
sacrifice
前
and
に
grew
返り咲い
back
た
into divinity.
そして
And please speak her name and
彼
make
女
sure
の
it's
名
passed
前
down.
あ
Oh, and do
あつ
mention
いで
you
に
caught me in the Guardians
狼
of
とか
Shinnai
他の
every
馬
now and then.
歴史的経緯を残すことは大事ですしお願いしましたよ
Counting on you, everyone.
皆さん
They nodded.
そうすれば
Now you don't have to
やが
be
て
so
は滅び
fixated
る
on
人
your
の
fragile
器
human
に
body.
ね
Right, God?
あ
Please don't cry.
あ
Haru-chan
泣か
will
な
be
いでください
uncomfortable. My apologies.
さっきああ言っ
Also,
た
do
手
be
前
kind to the humans. Very well, I promise. Thank you so much. I'm so happy, City Dweller. No, Okami Dono.
おう
Oh man, Haru-chan's all teary. I don't have a handkerchief or anything, so you stay into the dress.
持って
Mochi,
行っ
you
てば
literally never changed, do you?
己
At
だ
the
けは
very end, you are the only one who does not fear
最
me.
後うん
Yeah, you're Haru-chan, even with
ハルちゃんは
God.
社が
Could
で
you
きる
protect
ま
me
で
until I have a shrine?
ハルちゃんの
Along
つい
with
でにね
Haru-chan?
やっすん
Yasun, what do you
そうい
say?
うこと
あ
Yeah.
僕の妹
She's
を
like a little sister to me.
よろ
Take
しく
care
頼
of
む
ち
her.
っちゃん
Old man,
その
do
格
something
好
about
を
those
なんと
clothes.
チェハルちゃんは
これから
Depends on
も
what you like.
オッケー
Okay.
あと
Also,
こ
thanks
こ
for
まで
everything, Haruaki.
ありがとう春秋
Why does she know my name?
ま
Yeah, anyway,
そうい
that's
う
how
こ
it
とだ
is.
か
ああ
Good. Goodbye, Haru-chan. Another
一つ
thing, once this is over,
連
take
絡です
whatever you can within 10
これが
minutes
済
to
ん
go
だ
to
ら
Saranaga.
そこに
You'll find my wife
僕
there.
の妻が
Follow
いま
her
す
directions and
彼
escape
女の
this
指示に
place.
従って
Everyone
だ
complied.
あ
And
と
old man who cried wolf,
狼じじ
you
いさん
stay in the plaza.
さて
Now, sorry for
ごめん
keeping
ね
you waiting.
芹沢
Chami
ちえみさ
Serizawa-san.
ん
嫌よ
No!
君
Your
の
life
こ
was
れ
on a
まで
torment
は
at the hands of malicious
神
allies
様
who
の
willed
意
the
を
command
狩
of
る
God.
嫌だって言
I
ってる
said
でしょ
no!
君
You
は
feared and
恐れ
suffered while clashing with
も
others
だえ
and
苦
seeking
しみ
more power. You spent your life
周
wanting
り
to
と
be
衝
stronger.
その結
That's
果
why you began to see us as God.
あな
You're
たは
not
神様
God!
じゃない
その
Because
結
of this,
果
you gain the right to harm
君は
God.
神様は
God
殺せ
can't
な
be
い
killed.
普通
Normally,
は
yes.
そうだ
But it's not
でも
unkillable.
名を
Give it a
与え
name, get rid of its
後継を
successors,
廃
create
し
a hero that
そ
qualifies
の
for
資
the
格を
cause,
受け
and
し
give
英
him
雄
or
が
her
生ま
the
れ
right weapon.
そのための武器を
Basically,
手に
make
取れ
everyone
ば
agree,
神は
and you can kill a god.
殺せ資格は
I myself give you the
ほ
right. No!
僕
Come
の
to me, my
娘
daughter. Okay.
あなたを
I
やり
don't
た
want
く
to
なん
kill
か
you.
ない
I called Mako over and hugged her tightly.
さあ
Now,
構えなさい
a sawed-off shotgun slipped out of her sleeve. She couldn't resist at all.
ここま
Well
で
done on everything you did so
本
far.
当に
At this moment,
よく頑張
I
りま
felt
した
like I was speaking for someone other than me.
これで
This is my last wish.
最後のお願いです
No!
撃ちなさい
Shoot. The barrel spewed fire, and my body, still holding Mako, soared into the air. Not like I could actually die, though. This is so fun!
マジで
Seriously,
ど
what's
う
going on in
いう
the head of
神
yours?
経
It'd
し
be
てん
bad
だ
if they
君
heard
は
us, so shh.
し
Shh. Good
よ
girl.
しよし
ちょっと
And
悪
a
い
bit bad.
学習能力すごすぎるぞ
Basically, I just bungee jumped backwards the moment Chami fired. The rope couldn't be too long because we could end up hitting the cliff, so it was only about 10 meters long. But it was bungee jumping nonetheless. I prepared the rope during the little time I had after getting the mask. I only had one shot at this, and it actually worked out. With this, God was dead. Great Lord Shinai Yomatsu Kami, the two-faced god of fear and oppression, was killed by a fitting stage and a decent plot. He spoke his last words for each of the weak, yet good people of Yasumizu. He understood them well and encouraged them to follow a different path. Then he reconciled with the true god, the one given the dirty name of Badger, and passed on the rights. They no longer had a reason to fear the mist, blindly follow the fake laws of the mountain, or kill each other because some legends. They would never hold the Feast of the Yomi Purge again. So, Mission 1, stopping the people of Yasumizu from killing each other in the feast, had been completed. Even Chami, who was so afraid of Great Lord Shinai and God, had literally defeated the source of her fear. I could only hope it fixed her murderous side, too. Anyway, the sun had sunk. We had to move before it was completely dark. I switched to the other rope I had here and went down to Saranaga. Alright, we made it down. What was I to do with Mako? Considering the story I made up, I couldn't bring her with me. Alright, I just make her wait.
メイコちゃん
Mako-chan, can you wait for me
この
behind
後
this
しばら
rock?
く
Yeah, how long?
2、3
2 or
時
3
間
hours.
か
You can
な
sleep if you want, but if someone
寝てて
comes,
もいい
don't
けど
Okay, but I'm hungry.
岩陰
You
の
can
バ
eat
ッグに
anything
あ
in
る
that
もの
bag
は全
there.
部
There's
食べ
still
てよ
lots
ろ
of
しい
sweets there. You can't eat
お
them
菓
all
子は
in
ま
one
だ
day,
た
but
く
I'll
さん
let
あ
you
る
do
ぞ
it this time. Yay! She ran off, and I turned around.
来やがったか
You're here. Man, this is
なんつ
crazy.
う霧だ
Can't
よ
say anything 10 steps
10
ahead.
歩さ羊さん
She? You said the act's over, didn't you?
あ
Yeah, sorry for
あ
the
お
wait,
任せ
Suji.
三辻
何だったんだよ一連の茶番はよ
I'm so confused. What the hell were you trying with that act anyway?
いや
Well, I thought you missed your
別れ
act
た
trying
彼
to
氏を
chase
謎
after
の
me
情
in a
報
weird
で追
way,
って
so
き
I
たんだ
figured
と
I'd
思っ
just
て
ignore you.
全力
聞くだけ
Quite
無
an
駄
asshole.
だった。
That's just the kind of guy
て
you
め
are,
えはそう
Haruaki.
いうやつだよ、春明。
So is she the fucking god?
君はいつも
She
有
was
言
as
実
good as
行
your
だよ
group,
ね。
huh?
こんなのは無理なんだいっつうんだよ。
Behind her, there were 3 other boats.
で、
So what's next?
これから
A group
半
acting
ば
all
放
day is
心
gonna
状態
come
の
here
一団がやって
soon.
く
Tell
る
them
から
something godlike
適当に
and
神
save
様っ
some
ぽいことを
awful place.
後
The
半はい
latter
いけ
part's
ど、
fine, but
前
wasn't the
半
former.
ま
Just
あ
play along with their
迷信と
superstitions.
やり合うため
You
の
know
公
what
然
thinking
と
through
言ってさ
about what kind of place this is,
君だ
right?
って
まあな。
What a pain.
あのコンビ
Just
ニ
so you
店
know,
員
you
のノ
shouldn't
リは
have
や
to
め
do
とき
this
なよ。
convenience store.
ありゃ相手が
I'm only
て
like
め
that
えだ
because
から
of
や
you.
っ
Not
た
even
んだ
I'm
か
that
らな。
unreasonable.
プレイだったのか
So。it's some kinky stuff, eh?
マジで殺すぞ。
君の能力とか
You can ask about your
バックグラウ
powers,
ンドとか
background, and the
後ろ
organization
につい
backing
て
you,
る組
yeah?
織
Well, we're never meeting each
Ah.
other again, so there's no
もう
point,
会うこ
really.
そう言って
That's
別
what
れ
you
て
said
2
the
週
first
間
time
く
we
らいで
broke
再
up.
会
Yet
し
here
た
we
でしょう
are.
な。
What was that?
あれ何なの
Anyway,
もしかして
an
ほん
accident?
偶然だ。と言い
Dude,
たい
that's her
とこだが、
fucking
まあ、
girlfriend.
縁ってやつかもしれねえな。
Yep. That's what I'd like to say, but there's a bond between us and all that.
本気で言
Being
ってるのか
serious.
ああ、
Yeah, that's how the world is.
本
There's
気の
nothing
蜜
more
汁ほ
reliable
ど
than
信じられるものはない。
I'll believe you.
本気っぽく見えるてめえほど信じられないものはねえけど。
で、
Anyway, let's get serious.
もうすぐ。
I'll be caught by the loop's massive
俺
soon.
まだ耐えてた
You're
の
still bearing it?
まだって
Well,
なん
of
だ
course
おい。
I am. Working hard to buy you time. It's CAC, so that's why nothing happened.
なるほど。
Thanks, you helped out a lot.
じゃあなおさ
Guess I
ら
have all the more
急
reason
がな
to
きゃ。
hurry.
なあ、
Well, do be careful.
なんか君は
It
父
feels
に
all you
赴
do
く
is
時を見
send
送
me
られ
to
てば
death.
父。
まあ
Well, you helped me out
さっ
just
きは
now,
助
so
か
I
った
don't
から
think
いいから無事に
Just
帰
go
って
back
こい。
already. I ain't gonna welcome you, but if you
別
die,
に
I'll
迎え
have
は
to
しねえけど。
了解。
Roger that. I'll try to
Nah.
survive.
いや、
Now that I think about it, your
考
death
えて
is
みた
game
ら
over for all of us.
て
I
め
really
え
don't
が
need
死
you
ん
to
だら
say anything.
ひどいな。
That's me. Oh well, I'll just go.
まずは神様を殺したんだ。
あ
Yeah, now I'll be doing your
次
job.
巻き戻りの
Take
黒
on the
幕
master of the loop.
とやり合ってくる。
Mission 2, I had to deal with the master of the loop who wanted the monster's resurrection. This one didn't need as much preparation or acting skill as the first one. All the info I gathered over the loops was enough to make me certain by now. I just had to face the person one-on-one and be completely honest. That was easy. But the person was the problem. I'd probably be walking on a fine line here. I had no idea how well my thoroughness, guts, and verbosity would hold up against the enemies. And once the final mystery was revealed, I wasn't sure I'd have what it took to properly retaliate. So it is the old wolf guy. It was something I'd have to consider at that moment. I had to do it.
頼んだぜ。
I'm counting on you, Haruaki. I got up on the cliff again and hid near the graveyard. The mist was so dense and I couldn't see much, but I was used to it, so straining my eyes helped a lot. I soon saw the people of Yasumizu absent-mindedly make their way down to Saranaga. Everyone besides the old wolf guy was there. Good. After confirming that, I went to the plaza. He was standing alone in there.
逃げも
You
暴
didn't
れ
run
も
or
し
go
ない
wild?
と
I'm impressed. Huh?
いいです
It's
よ。
fine. Drop the act.
そんな本来
It's your job, isn't
あな
it?
たの仕
Taking
事
care
で
of
しょ
such
う。
escapees, I mean.
こういう例外的な
Wanted to talk to you.
ふりを
Please
やめ
stop
て
the
くれ
act.
て
That'll
助か
make
りま
things
す。
easier. The hell are you? I can tell you're like me. But it doesn't make sense that to think you're with the Miguruma. However, he was putting his hand in his clothes to take out a weapon, surely. Unfortunately for him, I already knew his cards. You destroyed my fortress. I'll get even by killing you.
僕は
I'm your disciple.
あなたの弟子です。
Huh?
ま
Well, I won't get into the
面倒
details,
なの
but
で
basically
説明は
without you, I
省きま
couldn't
す
have
が、
saved him.
それに報
I'm
いて
saying I'll let you live because
生
of
か
that
してやろうって
you
言ってるんです。
His
この
eyes
ク
were
ソ
filled
じ
with
じ
a
い。
silent anger.
ま
Well, the police probably won't know what to
60 年
think
だか
about
前
an
の
incident
事
from
件を
60 years ago.
あ、あなたが
And if
心
you
を
have a
入れ替え
chance,
て
and if you have a
ちゃん
change
と
of heart
安
and
水
decide
を
to
守
protect
る気を持つ
Yasumizu,
なら
there's really no problem
こ
letting
の
you
まま
live.
生か
Won't act big with me.
荷車
The
も
big room will start to crumble.
Stop.
Huh?
今日は
Nothing will happen today or
何
any
も
other
起きない。
disappearance that follows. That
今
means
後
there
霧
might be
が立っ
something
ても
good in store for
一
this
切
place.
あなたの仕
Your
事
job
も
and hideout will be
隠れ
found.
家
I'll
も
find out about the
もうあり
waterway.
ません。さら
And
に
the people of Yasumizu will never see you as just senile. What proof do you?
さっき
You
気
don't
づきま
realize
せん
there
で
were
した
two
か？
people with guns back
あ
there.
の場に知恵
You
み以
didn't
外の
realize
もう
the
一
ones
人
who's
は
not Chami was
ずっ
aiming
とあな
at
た
you.
を狙っていた。
All this times that can kill you
あ
for
な
one
たが
blows.
暴れた時至近距離あなたは猛録した。
You can only kill people in the
あな
mist
たが
while
人
wearing
を
a wolf
殺せるの
outfit
は
and using the authority
た
of
っ
God.
た今
If you
あ
charge
な
at
た
me,
が
I can
僕に
easily
切りかかっ
dodge,
ても
get you on the ground, step on you,
僕
and
は
kill you.
そうな
I
る
can
と
only
せ
beat
い
you
ぜ
with a surprise attack
い
or
不
by
意打ちし
spiking
かで
my
きなくなるって
nothing
いう
true.
でもも
But you
う
can't do that
そ
now.
れも
Even if
無
you
理で
stay
す
here, the locals will be wary of you. This is no longer your fortress.
あとは
Now
皆に
you either
頭
have
を
to
下
bow
げ
down
て
to them
死ぬまで
and
かくま
have
って
them
もらうか
protect you until you die,
そ
or
れと
call
も
your Tokyo
投
contact
票の
and
つて
move
が
us
ど
to
っちかを選び
one
な
of
さ
the
い
two.
つまらね
This sure
え
got boring.
十分
You had
楽しんだ
plenty
で
of
しょ
fun, didn't you?
い
No, I'll have
や
a bit more.
最後
Dodge this, youngin. He raised his blade, took an unexpectedly fast step towards me, then tripped. I
だから
told you.
言わんこっちゃない
Oh
あ
boy,
あ
his dagger went through his mouth and into his
滑った
brain.
担当が
Jesus Christ.
口天網
If
解
heaven's
体って
judgment
や
is
つな
slow
ら
but sure, then I wanted
もっ
him to
と
die
苦
more
しい死に
painfully.
方にし
This
てほ
death
しかった
doesn't
な
suit a villain like,
希代の悪人の最後としては草が
The
結
grass
ばれ
is
てる
tied. Whose prank is this?
誰だその誰かには
Whoever it was, they had my thanks,
一応
but I
感
didn't
謝
want
してお
them to
こ
feel
う
guilty though, so I'll endure
罪
it.
悪感を
Anyway,
持
I
たれ
was
てもあれ
satisfied
だ
with
か
the
ら
result. I
ほ
thought
どいて
about
おく
this and
か
that, but as long as he was alive, he'd have always been a danger to someone's life. That was all he'd done in his whole life, and it was best to accept his death for what it was. Leaving his corpse, I went off to where I had to. Of course, he wasn't the one in charge of the dream, so he wasn't my real target. Extra mission. Got rid of the latent threat. The violent old man completed. Mission 2, dealing with the master of the loop who wanted the monster's resurrection, would begin now. Not in the dining hall or back home, huh? Then maybe here? Oh, it's Rikako! The culprit's plan must have changed badly because of Mitsuji's hard work.
こんばんは
Good evening, Rikako-san.
リカ子さん
She was right there.
あな
Who
た
are
は
you?
い
No
いで
need
す
for
よ
that.
ご存知な
You
ん
know
でしょう
everything, don't you?
全部
不正
Haruaki
し
Fusaishi-sama. I have
お
been
待
waiting.
ちして
The two acquaintances who'd
おり
never
ました
met exchanged a greeting. It was a very normal greeting, but that was what made it warped and strange.
そりゃ
What an honor. But I did not want
Then-
this. I wanted us to play
何も知ら
within
ぬ
the dream.
あの
I caught the
羊
sheep.
は
No need to worry, I simply took her ability to influence dreams, that is all.
再
With
び
the
蘇
raising
る
loop, she will
年
become
間の
nothing but
中
a
では
powerless observer.
否定
Not
は
denying it?
あなたが
That you're behind everything?
先ほ
I
ど
just said I did not want this, but I am unexpectedly
望
happy
ま
about this.
春秋さん
Haruaki-sama, you know me so well and spent so many nights and lives just to get here.
長き
I had never
旅の
expected for
末
this eternal feast to bring me something like this.
なれば
Thus,
こ
I
そ
wish to ask you, Haruaki-sama, how did you find out that I pull all the strings? Huh? Well, I
だっ
mean,
て
you
あな
weren't
た
there when everyone
さ
came.
っき
Yeah.
全員が揃った場でいな
Really,
かっ
she
たじ
was
ゃないですか
missing. Huh? Is that it?
い
No,
や
not really.
違いますけどね
Please tell me, how did you discover me? Ah, she'd gone back to the heart of the matter. She'd probably punch me if I said something like, "You're a spider, of course you're pulling the strings."
突き止めたのか
Fucking stupid. I take it seriously. Of course, there were things I didn't understand. Or more like, I understood because I didn't understand them, though that was kind of complex. It was the spider. The Uematsu guardian and symbol of the spider. Japan had no faith that revered them. The other guardians had archetypes that were clearly related to mountain religions. Even the wolves, the spider, however, wasn't. The Shinai faith was a religion created to control. Thus, there was no reason for it to include anything without a clear origin. In fact, it was completely unlikely that a family of prostitutes would be the Jorogumo, a term for orb weavers, as their messenger. After all, that was a yokai, not a god. Hey, it is relatively the same word. But the difference between them was minimal, but God still needed to gather faith. In other words, Jorogumo, Ogumo, and all of that were just anomalies, strange incidences that could appear anywhere. Unless they garnered faith from the locals for many years, were accepted, and could live beyond just words, they weren't gods. However, the Uematsu actually had no divine authority despite controlling the most mythical section of the Shinai faith. It makes sense that she was able to fucking magically, solve everything too, because if she was the one controlling everything, she can make anyone survive and blah blah blah. This was strange. Of course, the Uematsu had a weakness in that people looked down on them because of their nature. However, the amount of suspicion, cruelty, and harshness directed at you was just unnatural. And that was despite being a good person most of the time, unlike Kyonosuke-san. I wondered why. The Uematsu had divinity in the Shinai faith too. That was when the spider archetype came to mind and turned my question into suspicion. The Uematsu, the spider, might have been some sort of an exception in the Shinai faith, an unnatural entity. It seemed to me that the spider's god could be an outsider that didn't fit in the mountain of the faith. That didn't fit in with the mountain or the faith. Whatever. The ritual to take in the corruption could have easily been the secret centerpiece behind the whole faith, no? It was a miracle that could cure everything after all. It was something that any new religion would kill to have. Imagine all the adherents they would gain. And if it was the real deal, any cult or dogma with weird origins would forcefully add it to their teachings. That wouldn't have been weird, right? The historical documents prove that many outsiders had come to help create the Shinai faith. Some might have been people from some shrines that wanted to take the snake, monkey, or crow for themselves. Then they also might have given themselves authority by putting their symbols in their teachings. The current village heads might have been the descendants of such people, though they could have been a stretch. Now, who is to say that the Uematsu ancestors didn't enter the settlement during this time and ram their symbol into the religion? Heretics would believe in a warped god. It was included in the religion, but only on a surface level. The truth behind it had been hidden by the Uematsu and wasn't included. That made everyone here unconsciously feel like there was something unnatural, something wrong about them. Thus, they were looked at with scorn, and that was probably why they could take the disorderly profession of prostitution as their family trade. Though that was just an assumption, you can tell me if I was wrong later. Next, it was time for the doubts about her as a person. I'd experienced a looping phenomenon. At first, I thought it was something that happened once I died, but then I realized that wasn't right. I'd kept my base as a secret, but I'd realized a few things once I thought about the loops that happened without my death. For example, there were loops that happened without me having any memory of dying. I had underestimated it, thinking that it was only because some memories, especially ones of your death, weren't saved properly. However, there were definitely loops that happened without me ever dying. It was just the general image of the loop that gave me the idea that the mist, death, and rebirth were linked, making me assume that I must have died. When I thought of it like that, I started thinking that the loop happened not with my death, but with the dream's master. That was the opposite of how it usually was in such scenarios. Normally, the master's death meant the end of the loop, but most people had died many times within all this looping. Looking at it that way, the loop should have stopped a long time ago. The master should have died, yet the loop didn't end. Thus, I began believing that the death of the master activated the loop. That would make sense after all. They could try it again if they messed up. They could instantly take full advantage of the looping as I first thought I had. Of course, it was possible that the culprit was in a safe spot far away like Kami Fujiyoshi or just the mountains. That would make them impossible to reach, but they could reach this place all they wanted. Of course, the Meguruma observed Yasumizu from a distance, so they could have done that easily. However, there was something strange. I'd seen so many deaths, but there was one person whose corpse I'd never seen. It was Meiko. No matter the route, I hadn't seen her final moments. That made her really shady. She'd seen that ending once, though, so I figured it wasn't her. She didn't know of the conspiracy. But there was someone else who seemed shady. It was you, Rikako Uematsu. I'd only seen your corpse once, and that was when it was supposedly all over, but you were hanged in the hall. I'd looped soon after. Well, I tried killing myself then, but looking back, the mists were already there before I fell. The looping was strangely linked to the mist. For all I knew, I might have looped without actually dying. Besides, I'd never seen any of your corpses. You were the only one who left the game in unusual ways. The chief example of that was the Yomibito transformation. You'd gone insane and been locked in, but you stayed alive to be alive, right? Even if your madness was real, it should have been possible for you to survive inside your house for a few days. If that was just some sort of act, you could have drunk some water or hidden some food for yourself to survive. Well, I didn't think it was a complete act, but even so, your actions are strange. The reality that you took in the corruption of the feast actually made my suspicions of you all the more certain. The Yomibito transformation was just you taking Chiryomi Serizawa's murder penalty for her, right? That had to have been impossible. After all, the Feast of the Yomi Purge was an artificial killing spree run by the Meguruma. It wasn't something that could be cured by your ability. However, if there was someone who knew about the cameras, the eye of the Meguruma, and was capable of asking for something like that, someone who could bend the rules like that without undermining the Shinai faith, the Meguruma would readily accept their wish to die instead of the actual rule breaker. There had also been one time you told me to run. Had you expected for your desire to succeed for the same reasons? While thinking that you looked a bit shady, I had found even more proof of that. If the culprits were really the Meguruma, like I said before, they were surely observing this moment too. They could have used their safe position to easily press the loop button or something. I'd considered that the culprit had watched it all from the mountain with clairvoyance or something, then reset everything at certain times, but the culprit seemed too naive for that. Anyone who watched enough would easily understand that I'd kept my memories. They would recognize me as dangerous and take care of me. That meant that the culprit had to have the perception of a normal human. Thus, to make something happen in Yasumizu, it had to be someone in Yasumizu. You being the culprit would also explain why you prepared Maker a separate place. After all, you knew that the mist was coming. And lastly, you'd said this. Even if we don't meet again tomorrow, let us meet again in a different life, hopefully a more peaceful one. That wasn't right, was it?
より穏
The
や
Shine
かな性
faithfully denied her forbid resurrection.
巡
That
り
was
合
why
い
they
ます
said
よ
rise not. It was forbidden for something to go to Yomi then come back. Someone who could say that was either part of a different faith or knew about the loops. I turned out to be right on that. I did suspect that part. It seemed a little weird. One more thing.
きっ
I
か
do
け
not know what started it, but after seeing you through the shadow of the leaves that day,
あの日
this was a mistake that I made several times myself. You said something based on memories of an event from a previous loop. I did not catch that part. Oh, when she was looking at him from the bottom, the first time when he was with Chiemi. I did think you were extremely careful in that regard, but you weren't above slipping up. You said those words in a timeline where I'd moved to Yasumizu. When we first seen each other then, you were behind a rock, one of the Okiba at the entrance of Yasumizu, not behind some leaves. Yeah, that time. That was the day after I'd crashed and ended up in Chiemi-chan's room. Our very first meeting, right? You also had memories of the loops. From your perspective, did you have any other reason to hide that besides the fact that you were the one behind all this?
以上
Is that all?
え
Yes, not
え
enough?
そ
いいえ
No, more than enough.
私は
Up until you arrived here, I was very confused about what
先
was
ほどあ
happening.
の
The start of the dream,
私が
which I had
ずらした
shifted twice, had been returned twice
夢の始まり
without my permission, and I desperately wanted to fix that.
そ
In
もそ
fact, I
も
did not know the reason why, or have certainty
あ
that
なたや
you and Serizama-sama had been changing the dream.
ただ
Though I did consider the possibility when you said that you had already tried it. I knew I shouldn't have said that lightly.
僕もしそうなら
If it was true and you somehow retained your memories, I would have been really happy. We
繰
would
り
repeat
返
the
す
feast
宴の中
while we continued to gain new memories.
女性は
Women like that kind of stuff, huh?
愛
We
の
are
みに
creatures that can only die for love,
Tokyo.
especially us, the Uematsu. They self-loved and lived by
Uematsu
feeding off
no
of it. That didn't make sense.
あなたが
It's
愛を
strange to
語
hear
る
you
の
speak
は
of love.
なぜ
Why?
あなたの
Your
神は
god is one of grudges.
そこま
Do
で
you know that much?
消去
By
法です
process
よ
of elimination, yeah.
あれだけの
They
奇跡を
created
起
so
こせ
many
ながら
miracles, yet its divinity went
真意を感
unrecognized
じさ
because
せ
it
ない
was
ほど
wretched.
廃れ
The
た
spider
存
god
在
is forgotten.
植松家は
The Uematsu are the
土雲
Tsuchigumo.
だこの国の
You are a descendant of the
精神上の
indigenous
始祖であ
people
る
of
天津神の血族に滅ぼされ
who
た
were destroyed by the
足
ancestors
原
in
の
this
中
country.
津国の
The
土着の民の
Amatsu
松
lineage.
その
Its
象徴
symbol is
す
the
るもの
ancient
は
original sin.
太古の現在
The guilt for this
この
sin
国
lies
の
deep
民が
within everyone in this
今の
country.
自分た
Our
ちの
current
繁栄を
prosperity was built on a
大
huge
昔の
massacre
虐
from
殺
long
の
ago,
上に
and
打
most
ち立
have
てておき
forgotten
な
it,
が
so
ら
they feel in
それ
danger.
は
It
この
was a
国
weak
全
but
体
fatal
を覆っ
curse
てい
like
る
feeling that engulfs this
薄
whole
い
country.
しかし致命的
And
な
those infected by
呪い
this
めい
are
た
too
感情だ
numerous.
具現化すれば国を滅ぼすような天変地異を起こしかねないほどに
If materialized, it could create a catastrophe that could destroy this whole country.
それが夢の中で抽象的に表現されたの
And
が
that dream
あ
that
の化
was
け物っ
abstractedly
てところでしょ
that
う
was
か
extractly represented by that monster,
お
right?
見事ね
Well done. She smiled bewitchingly and applauded me. This wasn't the silent, bashful Rikako from before. This wasn't a trancing, shameless Uematsu. Her mask is a prostitute. No, I didn't know which one was the mask at this point.
そう
Indeed, we are a grudge so clan that the Tsuchigumo of dreams inhabit this body. She'd been
そ
acting
の
bashful
耳
while
夢
hiding
の
her
土
sentiment in
雲
her heart.
その悲願
Our desire is the death of all people of
大和
Yamato.
の民の皆殺し
With that as her sole goal, she'd praised the devotion and sacrifice of the people of Yasumizu and used
一
them.
度は叶ったそ
You
の
and the
悲
sheep
願
would
を
once
引き
reverse
戻
the
す
fulfillment of this desire, both detestable and
どう
lovable.
いうことか
I don't know what you mean.
わかります
Hate me.
あなたはす
You'd
ぐ
already arrived there.
だから
Thus, if I stop your memories at that point and make it so you don't remember anything else, you will surely reach the same ending. I
同
kinda
じ
deny
結末
that. When that happens, oh, I actually love you so much I can't bear it.
愛しきあな
I have to thank you for giving me a chance to bear myself to you in such a way. My heart and mind are so happy now. The sudden switch in tone of the content of her words made me dizzy. To me, she was actually more enchanting, adorable, and beautiful than ever.
あなたが愛し
You
い
only
のは
love those who help you fulfill your desire.
たいい
No. Spiders are greedy. We love all that we can eat.
え嫌味
I'm
が
not being contradictory. I really, really do love
大
you.
和の
I
民
hate
は
the
見
people of
て
Yamata, but even that is lovable at this point.
彼ら
If
は
I get
全
to
て
burn and
焼き
consume them
滅し
all, she
こ
wrote
の
her
葉
abdomen.
そ
I
こ
would
で
call
み
them
ん
all
な
a dream of hellish joys.
とこしえ
I
の
would
感
melt,
動を
love,
抱
and
く
play with the
叫び
100
1
million
億の
accompanying
見
me
た目
without end.
だから
So I really do love everyone. The
私
spider's archetype was the great mother. That
本
was
当に
what this reminded me of.
鳥
Especially you. She suddenly looked away like she was
あなたさ
bashful. The situation was abnormal, but the gesture was the one that she could shake the core. But the gesture was one that could shake the core of any
わ
man.
からない
I don't understand. This is
ですよ。
beyond me.
わかる
You will understand eventually.
ご存
You
知
are
の
aware,
私
aren't you?
夢の
The
土雲
conditions to bring back the Tsuchigumo of dreams.
わかりま
I
せんよ
don't.
あなたの目
Her
的
goal is the
は
resurrection of that monster.
そのためにお耳の宴を食る事実、その2つにはただ怪物が復活したあの瞬間だけ。それは霧が出た時点で休みずにいた富士吉村住人の全員があなたを除き死亡していたということ。
そこ
You noticed that much. I knew it.
もしこれ
If
が
that was your
あ
goal,
な
I
たの
couldn't
目的
understand
な
why you
ら
planned this complicated
あなた
roundabout
が
event.
植松家
The
には
Uematsu have no
大
way
量
of
殺
killing
人
many
を
people.
よしんば
Even if
一
you
人
had
や
killed
二
one or
人
two,
殺せ
you
て
couldn't
も
complete your job
あ
with
なた
fair
の
alarms.
その上
There's also
植
the
松
fact
家
that
は
Uematsu
休み
are
の
shunned,
経
so you
営
couldn't survive
ま
with peace. Yes, yes.
だから殺
That's
し
why
合い
you
の
use
機
the
会
time
を利
period in
用
which
す
they
る。
kill each other, and if
う
you
まく
fail,
い
you
かない。
restart.
ああ
Yes, I know that
そ
much.
こまでは分かりましたとも。
That was where the big secret lay. The final secret lay. It pissed me off, but I had to ask her directly.
しかし
But I don't understand.
わか
There's
らな
nothing
い
in the legends linking the
土
Tsuchigumo
雲の
survival
復活に
with
関わる
Yasumi's or
伝
Kami
説
Fujiyoshi.
そもそも
There's no relation
狼と土雲は無関係だ
Kami and Tsuchigumo either.
である以
All I
上
can think of is
陰
that this
謀の
is a
正体
massacre
とは
that utilized the
しか
beast.
し
However,
そ
even
れ
so,
で
I
も
don't understand why the people
富
of
士吉村
Fujiyoshi
の
had to be
人間が
sacrificed.
黄泉の民として
I thought it might have been
休
something
み
to
ず
do
の
with the
住
amount of
人が何人
Yasumizu
死ねばいいと
Yomi
か
people who died, but
そん
then
な
they had
話
a...
上富士吉
It
の
doesn't
人
explain
間
why
で
Kyonosuke no
野
Satoshi
里
had been
清
invited
之
to
助
this
氏が
feast.
なぜ彼だったの
Why
か
him? His nature? Because of
彼の
numbers, or
属
why
性
was he
ゆえか
necessary as a person?
ただの
Was he
頭数な
necessary
の
as
か
a person?
少なくとも彼
At
が
the
こ
very
こに
least,
投
he'd been
留す
ordered
る
to
こと
live here
は
by his family. It
時
was
間
someone's
命じられ
intent,
た
clearly, but why?
それは
Yours? Then why did you need to
あな
sacrifice
たなの
such a
か
strange group?
それが
It's weird,
奇妙
mysterious, warped, unnerving,
機械で
unsettling, unreasonable,
いびつで
incomprehensible, and so
不気味で
scary. I
ピ
can't
ュアで
bear it.
最後の謎
It's the
だ
last mystery. Why do you have to
なぜ
kill
ある
them? What the fuck?
愛したか
Because I made love to each one of them once. That voice. That smile. Dude, her face. They were both those of a monster.
上松
The Uematsu are warped people. The grudge of the clan is profound, but we had to use it in its warped practices to survive.
それこそ
That's why you know as our ability to take. That's what you know as our ability to take in.
上松
The Tsuchigumo of dreams living within we heads of the Uematsu is a manifestation of this grudge.
怨念の成就
To gather more grudge and make it slow, but reaping consume all the evil, sin and filth. We trick the great spider of corruption.
奪った役
Bleeding
目
out
を
and
射
getting rid
撃
of
し
disease we take to prevent the spider's resurrection.
雲の復活を防
So
ぐ
that was why she was covered in blood after taking something in.
そうし
Thus, the head women of Uematsu continue to live in this country as useful tools that healed everything.
そうよ
That is how the family declined.
使命
You forgot your mission and desire to use the divine power in the completely opposite
神
way.
の
その
Yes,
通
I
り
did, but there was no way the Great Spider wouldn't notice such trickery.
いつ
And it secretly, slowly gathered disease, birthed its children, and let them escape.
や
Then
や
it
子を
would gather
産
it
んで
again
は
and repeat.
夢の土雲を
The Tsuchigumo of dreams, the heads of the Uematsu family, used this to get around the bleeding in the clan's eye, to gather corruption.
そして
And now, right as the family is about to die out, it gathered enough to come back. All that's left is retrieving
み
it.
んなを愛したと
So
い
when
う
you
の
say you
は
made love to them, I mean it literally, and I put my children in them. Oh man,
そして
what a
やや
disgusting
子を
truth.
宿させた
この集
I
落
heard
で
that the Uematsu worked hard at purification when there was a cholera
浄
outbreak
化
here
の
in
た
this settlement.
めしかし
But there was
あな
no
た
way
な
you
ら
could
死ぬ
die
わけがな
assuming
い
your power is real.
当時あなたは
And
とて
you
も
had
幼
to
か
be
った
very
はず
young
だ
back then.
そう
Indeed, don't expect the heads of this village to care about something like that.
そんなこと
Shit.
香織さん
I
は
heard that Kaori-san was very sick when she birthed Yotsusuga and that she almost died.
私
I used my mouth to take in all the pain and corruption in her blood.
血の汚れ
Shit.
を
はるちゃんにつ
So
い
you
て
also
は
took in from Haru-chan when she was going through the wolf possession.
で
Yes, Mujina-sama was
藤
very
名様はとても
adorable.
可愛らしかっ
She benefited from what I was doing, so she silently allowed the spider's resurrection.
た天津神の秩
And the
序
law
が
of
滅
the
び
Amatsukami is broken. The mountain's darkness and the Yomi's darkness would rule again.
黄泉の
How
闇の権勢
wonderful.
が戻る
Shit.
狼じじ
The
い氏
wolf
は
guy is a huge scumbag. He might have done something like Fours.
あれ
I don't want to remember that.
鴨志田近持ちについては
Chikamochi Kamoshida.
もちろん
Of course, I took in from him when his family were worried about his eccentricity. He was cute, so we got along well in Kami
彼は
Fujiyoshi.
可愛い
If you understand my meaning.
神
That
藤を
little...
安永君
What
は
about Yasunaga-kun? He was a bit cute, so I slept with him when he was visiting Kami Fujiyoshi.
最
You're
低
the
だ
lowest.
あの
Don't
子は
worry.
夢だと思ってい
He
る
thinks
か
it
ら
was all a
大丈夫
dream.
最後
Last one.
芹
Chami
沢チーム
Serizawa, Chami Miguruma.
荷
You
車
took
が
in
飼
from
っ
her
て
when
い
she
る
was bitten by the
雑
rabid
巾病
dogs
に
they
かかっ
kept,
た犬
didn't
に
you?
か
Yes, indeed.
なぜ彼
Why
女
did
の
you
毛
hide
が
that from her?
だってそれ
Because that was the promise I made when I came under
陣
Shinai-sama's
内さ
rule.
陣内さ
Shinai-sama's
汚れ
corruption
は
is
神
divine
の罰
punishment. We cannot allow you to take it.
だか
So I couldn't, or I just didn't.
当
You
然
knew this, of course. Chami
あなたは
doesn't
それ
remember
を
it
知っ
though.
びっくりし
She was
す
so
ぎ
surprised she forgot it
細
all,
かい
it
こと
seems.
当
Of
然
course, you knew about the necklace
あ
too.
あの時
So that means that you said
あな
something
た
like
が
you'd
初め
seen
て
it
見
for
た
the
ような
first
こ
time.
と
It
を
was
口
just
に
an
した
act.
のは芝居だった
え
Yes, an act that saved you.
そうやって
So all the help you gave
僕
me
と
and
知恵
Chiemi
みを
had an
断る
ulterior
ごとに
motive.
僕らが特別
You
だ
felt
と
that we were special.
え
I didn't know the reason, but I could clearly see that you had the power to change the flow of the loop. Before you came, I thought that I could reach the ending I wanted by making her an ally. As a result, she continuously given Chiemi a good impression, making her less
望む結
suspicious.
末が見え
If Chiemi, someone who could keep her memories, found out that she was the bad guy, her conspiracy would become impossible to achieve.
しかし
But she didn't get
そこ
there. Yeah, she wasn't good enough.
だから
That's
今
why
度
you were nice to me instead.
そう
As I already said, it's because I found you lovable.
ただ
You released my children and sent them to me out of
好
simple
奇心
curiosity.
そう
You're a wise, gracious, sinister wolf with a warped heart.
共に
Come with me.
大いに
Let us
雲の
enjoy
体に
endless pleasure on the path to Yomi atop the great spider.
読みし
Path to Yomi.
山は
The
山
mountain is Yomi. The darkness is Yomi.
Yami
Yomi is
wa
dreams.
Yomi.
Dreams are the mountain.
とこし
An
えの
endless dream and limitless pleasure. A happy, blissful hell.
それを
Let us enjoy it together atop the
この
corpses of
国
all
の
the
す
people
べ
of
て
this
の
country.
私
I want to be with you.
最
For
も
you are
愛
the
お
most
しい
lovable. She said that with a serious tone.
あなた
Apparently, a devil had just confessed to me. Oh man, I was actually interested and honored. But
それ以上喋んな
don't
くて
say
いいわ
anything more, Rikako-san.
Rikako-san.
Someone got in the way.
ちえみちゃん
Chiemi-chan, she broke her promise to God. She didn't think I was dead. Several questions came to mind.
どうして
Why are you here?
ここに
That was the first one I could say.
私は4番手
I'm the fourth here, sadly.
なんだ
What?
みんな
Guys. A moment later, they entered. Haru-chan, Mochi, and
リカコさん
Rikako-san.
随分と
Well, what a crowd.
ゾロゾロ来たも
Mission
んで
2
す
had
ね
an unexpected development.
野里さんが
Sato-san
最
was
初
all,
よ
was all about not
上
leaving
松さんが置い
Uematsu
て
here.
そんで
So he got off the boat and Haru-chan followed for some reason, so I followed her,
な
of
ぜ
course.
仕事を一
I
つ
forgot some
忘れた
unfinished
ことを
business.
思いそれでようやく
And that was when I was
私
free
の
from
自
the
覚が
curse.
みんなが動き出し
They
て
were doing something, so I,
全部
who
知っ
knew
てる
everything,
私が
couldn't
神
let
様
myself
殺し
enjoy
を
the
永遠に
afterglow
浸
of
ってる
killing
場合じゃない
God.
よね
So she really had realized my plan. But even so, she couldn't resist God.
やすくんやたく
I
み
left
兄
the
ちゃ
rest of
んあ
Yasukun
との
and
ことを
Takumini-chan and became the rear
わか
guard.
というわけで
That means that the leader
最
of this
終局
invasion
に
and the
乱入
final
部隊
encounter
の
is
隊長
Yuno
はあなたに
Sato-san.
正直
Honestly, I feel for you. Rikako-san, was everything you said true? The looping Chiemi Serizawa told us about, our murder and that monster, is it all true?
巻き戻りは
はい
Yes, Nosato-sama.
今ま
My apologies for fooling you all this time.
騙して
Rikako-san used her usual voice, but that just made it stand out more.
申し訳ありま
She
せん
bowed her
でした
head.
あ
I
な
was
た
actually quite happy that you had feelings for me.
あまり
It was simply too comical.
そんなお
Don't make
顔は
that
な
face.
さらな
You
い
are still more lovable than
春
most.
秋様
I
の
don't mind
コア
making
の
you the
魔
bed
女
on which Haruaki-sama and I
信頼
eternally
くらいにはして
intertwine.
差し上げましょう
I'm telling you to shut up.
撃つの
You'll shoot me? Shoot, that will complete the final loop. You're the most fitting person to complete the pleasant
かつて
dream,
な
the
りかけ
perfect
て
hell.
さ
Hate me for taking your beloved and shoot me.
それを
I will
心
take that
と
as
して
congratulations and create
夢
my
をな
dream.
そっ
I
か
see, so you killed God, but you can't do anything about a God that reaches
死
completion
んで
when it
完
dies.
成
どうすん
What
の
are you gonna do, Haruaki?
我は
I will
も
no
う
longer support
父
Tsuchiya
雲
Ueno's
殿の
plans,
絡みからは
but she is
手
still
を
a
引
mighty
くが
foe.
それでも
Man, this was
難
troublesome.
敵ですぞ
I would have liked this to be finished in secret. Mission 2 became unexpectedly lively.
皆さん
Now, I'm
せっ
sorry
か
you'll
く
have to
集まっ
gather
て
to
もら
hear
っ
this,
て
but
悪いん
I
です
still
が
have to say it.
僕
I'm
は
thinking of going with her.
彼女と共に行きますよ
Everyone lost their expressions. Only Rikako-san looked at me with ecstatic expression. No way. Huh? Why? That joke's too far even for you.
まあ気
I
持
mean,
ち
I
は
get
わ
him
かる
though.
かな
Richan's cute and a
りっちゃん
goddamn
可愛い
demon
し
lord. That's way
し
too
かも魔
interesting.
王とか
Rikako-san, please stop. Even if everything is true, there are no joys worth dying for. My, such considerate words befitting a doctor.
あなた
Your
の
life
人
must
生
be
は
painful
確か
and
に
your
辛
clan
い
must
も
have
のだっただろ
experienced great hardship.
だから
But I don't see the reason to throw it all away and walk the path of chaos.
まだず
You
れて
haven't
る
heard me? I will rise again, complete and create an
私は
eternal
完全に
blissful hell
落ち
for
ない
myself.
そんなもの
That's not true
幸
happiness.
せあの日
I'm saying that I can make you happy for saving me back
私を
then.
あ
Oh,
ああ
the
の
boy
時
from
の
back
暴
then
力
sure has grown.
でも
But it really is comical how you were so
心は
invested in
純
your first
真だ
woman
な本当
and how you still have feelings for her.
そういうわけで
Anyway, sorry.
この人は
I'll take her. She jumped at me and embraced with the innocence of a child. I love you.
よう
You'll finally fulfill the gamble from back then.
か
Gamble? Gamble?
けかけって
What gamble, Haruaki-san? Oh, how pitiful.
春秋さん
もし
If
あ
you
な
cut
た
it with
が
the unpleasant
他
secrets, the
にも
medical
こんな不
Haruaki
愉快な
Fusaishi
秘
will
密
trust
を溜め
Rikaku
込まないで
Uematsu.
いいというなら、夫妻子春秋は
Haruaki Fusaishi will believe
Uematsu
Rikaku
Rikaku
Uematsu.
そ
will
して
survive for Rikaku
僕は
Uematsu's
上
sake,
松里香子のため
while
に
you will survive for
あな
Haruaki
たは夫妻
Fusai's
子
sake.
春秋のために僕は上松里香
I
子
will
のため
survive
に
for Rikaku Uematsu's
彼
sake,
女は
while
夫
she
妻
will
子
survive
春
for
秋の
Haruaki
ために
Fusai's
生
sake.
き残るそれ
And if
で
we both survive, you
あな
can
たは
ask
夫妻
Haruaki
子春秋
Fusaishi
に
for whatever you want.
僕は
I can
上
do the
松
same
里
for
香子に
Rikaku Uematsu.
何でもそれで
And if we both
彼
survive,
女は夫妻
そ
and
し
we
て
both survived Haruaki-sama,
そして
and we will continue to
これが
survive.
あ
I
の
will
時
not let you
の
say
上
that it was
松
just a
里香
line to save the Rikaku
救う
Uematsu
ため
from
の
back
方
then.
面とは言わ
I
せ
remember
ま
those
せん
words clearly.
ええ
I know.
王
I
に
will consider it a
雲の
promise
前
made
で
before the great spider.
それは
Was it that big of
そ
a
んな
deal?
に
Yes,
も
of
ちろん
course, breaking all that way to his destruction.
そりゃ
Guess I have no choice then.
夫妻子
Haruaki
春秋
Fusaishi-sama will join the Tsuchigumo of
夢の
dreams and
口
join
雲の
fates with mine.
それ
That is my desire.
さ
Now ask what you want,
お望みください
Haruaki-sama.
どの
I
よ
will
うな
grant you whatever wickedness, debauchery, or pleasure you desire.
快楽
Oh, what a wonderful
私
offer.
が
That, that's just... Haruaki-san, you're too nice. Why do you try to save every girl by just saying
多分
whatever
女
comes
の
to
子
mind?
それで水戸
I
国
guess
が
it
滅
doesn't
び
matter
る
if it destroys
も
your
うしょう
body
が
and
ないね
country, huh?
あなたに
I
救わ
can't
れ
even
た私
complain.
は
You
文
saved
句言
me
えない
too. I can't say anything against your
Kako-sanが
Kako-san being
救われるの
saved. You
バカ
idiot. You dumbass.
秋さんの
Why are there so many A's?
知恵ね
Jenny, calm down. Why are you so calm? You and he also.
まあ
Well, it is a bit unfair since I can read his mind and know what shall
こ
happen
の
now, but
私が教わっ
he
た
only
の
taught
は
me of evil.
春秋が
I
い
will
なく
do
て
what I
も
want without him, and I'll just take whatever I want.
ただ
But
ね
Jenny,
いたいけない
Haruaki
田
is the
舎
type of man
娘
who
に
teach an innocent
悪
country
を
girl
教え
about
込む
evil.
ような
Do you seriously believe
ひ
that
ね
a
くれ
warped
た
scumbag like
そん
him
な
would
約
make such a
束
promise?
す
Huh? Rikako-san hesitantly loosened her grip. Then she took a step back. Her eyebrows were furrowed in suspicion. Oh, how pitiful.
名前は
I'm
夫妻子
Haruaki
春秋
Fusaishi, a graduate
東京
student
で
in
大学
Tokyo
院生やって
College.
ます夫妻子春秋って
Who's Haruaki
誰
Fusaishi?
ですか
I really didn't expect to be caught doing marriage fraud. What? Huh?
そんな
A
名
guy
前
like
の
that
人
doesn't
間
exist.
と
Though I
いう
can't
の
be
は言
sure.
い過
Maybe
ぎ
I'll
か
find
な
one if you look
どっ
hard
か
enough.
探せば一人
Haruaki Fusaishi-sama will join the Tsuchigumo of
夢の
dreams.
土雲のもと
Join
に
fates
下
with
り
mine.
かわいそうに
Poor guy. I
そ
made
の
this
なんとか
Haruaki
春秋さんは
son
夢
share
の
his
土
fate
雲
with
と
someone.
定めをと彼女は夫
She
妻
can
子
ask
春
anything
秋
from Haruaki Fusaishi,
僕
and
は
I can
上
ask
松
anything
里
from
香子
Rikaku Uematsu.
何でも好き
Well,
ま
if
あ
that doesn't matter right
それ
now,
と
I
は
guess
全
it's
然
my turn
関
to
係な
ask you
く
what I want from you.
たく
Oh man.
おお
Oh. What? She's so mad. She suddenly took a dagger out from her sleeve.
やはりあなたは
You really are
最
the
高
best. The best, the worst nameless soldier. Dude, her
話
face!
のゴンベイ
She's like Kokichi.
駆け引きは
I will
次
take
に
this
持ち
gamble
越
to
し
the
まし
next
ょう
time if you remember it anyway.
あなたが覚えていたらだけど
The dagger went to her throat. Crap, I had to make it in time. I had to tell her to stop this conspiracy. At that moment, all light vanished. In the midst of that was a scream. It was a scream so scary it seemed inhuman. What?
何にも
Can't see
見えない
anything?
ちょ
Hey Mochi, what are you touching? What are you doing? Where are the lights?
電源
This is unexpected. What happened? The Higuruma probably invaded. But going at someone with a knife in the dark was just... While I, all talk that I was, couldn't even force myself to act. I heard something heavy drop to the floor, then something metallic. The next moment the lights came back. Before me I saw Rikako Uematsu lying on the floor. She wasn't moving at all. Was she dead? No, the dagger was clean and still in her hands. Hold her down. Chami moved first, then Kiyonosuke. One took the knife, the other held her hands behind her back. She was unconscious.
何があった
What
のかな
happened?
リカコさん
Rikako-san, are you okay?
ちょ
You don't change, do you?
崩れないな
It'd be bad if she wakes up
今
now.
気づかれたら
Haruaki-san, what do we
困るっ
do?
て
踏んじ
Let's
ばっ
tie
て
her
す
up
っ
and
転
leave
が
her.
して
There
お
was
こ
rope deeper in.
ひ
That's
ど
me.
い
血
You're
も涙も
heartless,
ない
old
な
man.
お
I'm
っ
not
ちゃん
old,
じゃない
Kamiya-san.
発
Why
散
are you
だ
all freaked out?
言い方はと
I
も
don't know about the way you said it, but I agree that we should tie her
高速は
up. We went and did just that.
うわ
She
Nice
woke up. What if she
honesty, though.
bites her tongue or something?
なんか
Let's gag her.
頼む
Please don't be cruel to her.
だから
Hey,
自
if we don't
殺させ
prevent
な
her
いように
committing
しなきゃ
suicide,
大
it's gonna be
変な
bad
こ
for
と
all
に
of us.
そうやって物や
Don't you
災
think
害
that
み
she
た
might
い
have
に
been
彼
pushed to
女
this
を
point
扱う
because
か
of
ら
this? Because people treat her like an
彼女はそこ
object
まで
or a
重い
disaster?
おっちゃん
Wow,
が
Uncle's actually
なん
saying
か
something
ま
good
と
for
もっぽい
once.
リカコさん
Rikako-san, can you give me some time? I will
私
admit
は
I have fallen for you hard, I may add.
しかし
But ever since I saw your dry eyes on that
あの日
day, I've been haunted by an urge to make them
あ
wet.
なたの乾ききった瞳をし
But
か
even
し
so, I can't give up on you on this point.
どうか
Please let me try and make you happy.
どうか
He was really straightforward. That didn't really matter to
私も
her. The spider, the
夢
Tsuchigumo of dreams is gone.
土雲
She said something we didn't understand.
あれ
Huh? 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 Just like Mahito. Where are you, Tsuchigoma? My everything. The god who taught me of love. I had no idea why, but I could tell. She no longer had any divine powers or scary conspiracies left. All that the Uematsu family, Rikaku Uematsu, ever had vanished all at once. But even so, I asked,
植松里香子が
you,
土雲の復活を
Rikaku
放
Uematsu,
棄
abandon the
し
Tsuchigoma's revival
ただの
and
人と
live
し
out
て
a normal happy life as
女
an
性として
ordinary woman, a
まっとう
person.
に
I gave her those
幸せに
cruel
なる
words. She began crying. I did feel bad. I had considered taking responsibility for her and taking her with me, but the one to embrace her and console her as she cried was Kyonosuke no Satoshi, not me. If he chose to take that role, I had no business stopping him. I would just let him have it.
これで
Everything is solved now, it
はい
seems.
それでいい
Is
の
that good enough? I'll believe you if you say it is, God.
己が
A
いただ
contract
く
made
神
for
に
a
誓
god
った
you would
約定
accept
じゃ
takes more than a lifetime to break.
違えることはまあ
Well, Tsuchigumo
我ら
Dono's
の
seeds of
中には
corruption,
未だ
children are still within us.
我が力を
But
取
now that I
り
have my
戻
powers
し
back, I shall have
に
no
は
problem removing and
増
consuming
太
them.
陽や城を建
Build
て
me
る
a
んだぞ
shrine as quick as possible,
もちや
Mochi.
オッケー
Okay!
やあみんな
Hey everyone, I'm Haruaki Fusashi.
うわ
Look at that,
詐欺師
the
の人だ
swindler.
ひで
Ouch.
一
I'll
応
still call you Haruaki-san out of
不便だから
convenience.
おうとも
Good.
女
But
と
as
し
a woman, I
て
gotta say that's a
あ
huge
れは
no.
な上
I
松
feel
理
a
香
bit
子
bad
に
for her.
じゃあ
You can't tell me you
少し
didn't
も
think you felt she deserved it.
思った
I did.
思った
I did. Such honesty.
ま
Well,
そう
anyway.
ごめんね
Sorry,
リカさ
Rikaku-san.
よなら
Goodbye. Haruaki-sama? You dummy. Mission 2, dealing with the master of the loop who wanted the monster's resurrection, had been completed. Nothing more needed to be said, even if it gave me things to think about.
君には
I still don't know what to say to you.
気に
Don't
しない
worry
で
if
く
you
ださい
did.
僕
それでも
Even so, I believe you might have saved her, as well as the rest of
Yeah.
us. Seriously,
本当
don't worry about it. I
気
had
にし
better
ない
ways
で
to
くだ
do
さい
this.
まあ
Well, probably. I hope I can talk to you again sometime.
顔も
I don't want to see his face.
リカ子さん
Kako-san. Dummy, dummy, Haruaki-sama, you dummy.
困った
Unfortunately, I find her lovable even
こ
when
んな
she's
状
like this.
態でも
Same, actually, but I wouldn't admit it out loud.
彼女
I
の
shall
こと
protect her.
僕にそれをあなたが彼女を
Patiently and thoroughly
根気
convince
よ
her
く
to
説
change
得
her mind.
一応
Talk it out with her.
当たり前だ
Of course, I shall not do anything
一方的
one-sided.
に
I
どう
will
こう
help
し
her
た
survive.
了解です
Good.
つい
I won't let the Sata-sama convince me I'll bite him into pieces.
されません
Rikako-san had become a completely different character.
これで
I
撤収
suppose
して
we
いい
can
もの
withdraw
か
now?
少し待って
Wait
て
a
くだ
bit,
さ
there's
い
one last thing I have to
はい、
we
それ
have
に
to
は
walk up into
ちょっ
that
と
though.
そうだ
Alright,
な
Nosata-san, Mochi, and
野
Haruchan,
里
you
さん
stay here.
一応大丈夫だと思うけど
I
リ
think
カ
it'll
子
be
さんに
alright,
貼っ
but
とい
look
て
after Rikako-san.
ゲブを吐き
I'll
か
make
け
you
てさ
vomit.
それしか
That's
で
the
きな
most
い
you
な
can
ら
do, then
全
you're not
然
much of a
OK で
threat.
ついていかず
I do not have to come with you?
ええ
No.
伝えるべ
I'll
き
tell
こ
them
とは
everything myself.
よき
Very well.
おう
Oh,
お
Tsuchigumo.
う
Tsuchigumo Dono, you certainly had your way with me
I
back
don't
then.
think
Should I
you're
get back at you for that? What are you gonna do? Don't touch it like that.
も
Stop
ち
it, Mochi. 面白いの
君は
It's
ハ
your
ル
job
ち
to
ゃん
look
と
after
神様
Haruchan
の
and
思う
God. Boo.
しゃあな
Alright.
というわけで
Anyway,
最
time
後
for
の
the
始
final
末
job. We'll chase back the people
上か
coming
ら来
from
る
the
人たち
mountain.
を追い
Help
返
me
す
out with that, Chami-chan.
せっかくだから手伝
Mission
って
3, dealing with the
ちんちゃん
Meguruma, the leaders of the feast. Now would it go peacefully or violently?
わかったよ
Alright, you
詐欺師さん
swindler. Harsh. It's kinda hard to ask, but yeah.
リカ子
Any
さんと
bother
の
about what
昔の
happened
ことっ
between you
て
and Kakasan in the
う
past?
ーん実
I
際
don't really
覚
remember
え
it,
て
and
な
even
い
if
し
I did, it wouldn't be anything
覚
more
えて
than a
てもまあ
childhood kiss for me.
子
It
供の
doesn't
時の
count.
チューとかと一緒でしょ
I didn't know if that was
ノー
how it
か
was, but I would just assume she was right. I couldn't say anything if she thought that. Well,
ま
I
あ
guess you don't know what actually
う
happened.
ん
Yeah, I think
実際
everyone but
野
the
里の
Nosato
ボンクラ
blockhead. I really can't call him
と
that
は
anymore,
もう
can
言え
I?
ないか
I remember
清之助
Kyonosuke.
さん以
Son
外
had
は
forgotten
死に
it.
かけとか
Everyone
夢
was
の
either
中とか
dying or dreaming.
モッチ
Mochi
ーは
probably
覚えてる
remembers
ぞ
though.
モッチーは絶対気にしないでしょ
Good point.
ハルちゃん
From what
は
I saw, Haru-chan was
さっき
reaching
の
a
感じ
神
compromise.
様がまだ
I
い
think
る
she can
間
handle
は
stuff like that
あ
with
のこと
goddess
に
still
い
around.
なくなる頃
If
に
you're
は
right, she'll
ハル
probably
ア
go
キ
a
さんの
great
腕
deal
が
by the time
ハ
it
ルちゃんも
vanishes.
しっかり強く
Yeah.
成長してるこ
Though
とだろ
Haru-chan's
う
god was real, it was still the mask she'd make to bear the pain she'd experienced as a child. When we just talked, she mentioned it herself, but the tone was that of God. It was something that she could only say through the voice of God. The wounds are just that deep. The same could probably be said for Chami.
私から
Can
も
I say
聞
something
いてい
too?
い
うん
Yeah.
神様っ
What's
て
God anyway? You
君
didn't
は
realize?
姿や怖さが
I
分
get
か
the
ってた
general
だけで
concept and know it's scary,
正
but I
体
have
と
no
かは
idea what it
知
truly
らないよ
is. Then I'd made the right choice calling her here. Mission 1 was way too hectic, so we had to postpone the answer to that until now.
神っていうのは
God is
正し
anything
い
that's
こと
right.
だよ
Rightness seemed like it was tied to intelligence and wisdom, but it was actually a concept as far away from those things as possible. Fixed decisions, preconceptions, obsessions, bases, obligations, and adherence to the old ways. The idea whether something was right or not changed people's minds before they could even think about whether something was intelligent or wise. Thus, mankind was bound by what was right, by God. Sometimes it was so bad they even couldn't realize it. This interpretation of God really wasn't special or interesting in any way. The people bound by it couldn't resist their sense of right and wrong. Someone must have said something similar to that effect already. However, there were two things I hadn't expected. One, God was alive. And two, God could warp into something truly fearsome. I don't see dogs anywhere.
水路が
The
開か
waterway
れてないん
probably
だろ
isn't
う。
open.
結局
So
あ
they
れ
all
っ
had
てみん
rabies,
な
huh?
も
Jeez,
し発症した個体ばかりだったら
Alright,
制
Rocco,
御なん
welcome
て
in.
できないと思うんだよ
Scared
ね。
the shit out of me. I imagine they couldn't control them if they all did.
水を避け
Guessing
るよう
they're
にし
actually
つけら
dogs
れ
who've been
つつ
trained to avoid
狂
water
犬病を摂
simultaneously
取され
getting
た犬っ
injected
て
with
ところじゃない
rabies.
かな。
Darn. Isn't that in the office?
Let me call you daddy, 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 daddy. Let me call you daddy, 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 daddy. Let me call you daddy, ooh.
Daddy.
I came here because I love seeing wasteful souls struggle to accomplish something meaningful and fail spectacularly, like you are doing now. Good job.
Thanks, Rocco. Appreciate it. Jesus
Wow.
Christ.
That's what she said.
How was your stream? How was it, Cold Crescent? Fuck, dude, I gotta go back and do my dailies.
Oh, harder, Daddy.
Jesus Christ.
なんでそん
Why
な
would they do something so horrible?
汚れの
Using
運び
beasts
手
for the
たる
bringers of
獣を刺
corruption
激する
fit
っ
the
て
whole
いうの
Shinai
が
faith motive, don't you
信
think?
頼信仰
Well, I was
世
trying to
物
do some
の
Blue
神の手下
Mage and I
の
fucking
世
sucked,
物無
dude.
事な
Took me like 2
そして
hours
そ
and
れ
I
を
got
管
nothing
理してい
done.
る身車こそ
We
信
did
頼
do
さ
an
んの一
Omega
の子
only
分
Blue Mage run. Took a bit, but we managed to get it done. The Yomatsu Mujina, serving the Yomatsu Okami, and the Miguruma, the ones watching over them, were their primary followers. What the fuck? Why are they using Mujino so much? Isn't that the name of his ex-girlfriend? And the girl from the fucking convenience store? And the name of the god?
バカ
Was
だ
I
ったのか
stupid?
な
いや
No, you were
普
normal.
通だちなみに君
By the
は
way, did you get tested? I did, right after I went to college
大
and
学
started
進後
learning.
結果は
The results were
陰性だっ
negative.
た
What a relief, so she wasn't infected. Rabies could linger in the body for a long time, and anyone infected ended up dying. It was a pretty awful disease. But is this like, Rocco, thank you for the one bit and the horse cock. 3 horse cocks. What?
だからって安心なんか少しもできなかったけどね他の死のような病
It
気
could
か
have
も
been
し
a
れな
different
いし
disease, or it could
そも
have
そも
been,
病
or
気
it
じゃ
could
な
have
く
been a real
ほんま
curse.
そう
What a right way to
ま
look
た
at it.
今はど
What
う
do you think now?
全然気
I
に
don't
なら
care
なく
about
な
it
っ
at
た
all. Another relief. That alone made the gods' murder all worth it. I resume my explanation. God was alive. Why? Because humans thought what was right. They tried to be right. They all tried to justify their existence, actions, possessions, relationships, and tried to make everyone else see it their way. That was close to human nature. It was the belief that human nature was fundamentally depraved. There was no objective good in this world, but there were things that were right for the era and location. God, basically. I just realized I'm still missing. Am I missing more than one key? No, yeah, okay. That last key is the one about Haru being clean, being a human. People could justify their existence and live on by obeying the god of that time and place. It was something that everyone submitted in order to survive or live well. It was a byproduct of the desire to live and die the right way. Thus, people would want to prolong the lives of gods that were connected to their way of life.
あれ
Huh? It's not collapsed. We made it in time.
ここも
So
結
did the
局
Miguruma always
身
destroy
車
this
が
place
重機
using
で
heavy
崩落する
machinery?
そういうことだ
That
ろう
has to
ね
be it, and since that hasn't happened now, the
道の
path
ことはいい
aside,
け
how
ど
did they make the mist
宴
clear
が
after
済ん
the
だら
feast
霧
was
霧
done?
が出るかどう
The
かは
mist
ラン
might
ダ
come
ムでいいけ
randomly,
ど
but how do you stop it?
う
The
ー
way
ん
Matsu had strange powers,
上
so maybe
松
the
家の不思議
Miguruma
能
had
力
to
も
too?
櫓の見張
Tower
り
lookouts observe the
天下
weather,
う
right?
ーん
Hmm.
まあ
Well, maybe this feast was
あるいは
special because
今回の
Rikaku
宴に
Matsu
限って
controlled the
は
weather through her dream
上祭り
manipulation.
過去の
The
宴に
previous
ついて
feast
は
ending could have been handled by just
例
killing
え
all
ば
the wolves and
霧が
on the
晴れた
morning
朝
mist
に敵と
clears.
ぶっちゃけ
Honestly, they'd messed up
前
with the
回の
mist of the
宴では
last
霧
feast,
の
so the
調整
system
失敗
probably
してるっ
wasn't that
ぽいから
reliable.
あんまりちゃんと
Then
はしてな
again,
い
it
よ
could have been God
多分
pulling something weird, so maybe that was an exception.
奴らにとっ
To
て
them, all
は
that mattered was that the
休
people
み
of
ず住人が
Yosemizu
適
killed
当
each
に
other
殺
at
し合ってく
appropriate
れればよ
levels.
かっ
They'd
たんだ
underestimated the
そう
situation,
や
and
け
this
ん
happened.
なるほど
I see! Naruhodo. God would change. Human society shifted, and with that, so did the standards of right and wrong. There were changes one had to accept, whether or not they were good or bad. Thus, God would change. And so would personalities, dogmas, and perhaps even existences as a whole. That could be considered a kind of evolution. Of course, it would mix with other gods too, and it would be considered breeding. More than that, God was infectious. Rightness was reflected in everything surrounding human life. Words, ways of living, culinary traditions, and a lot more. Construction styles, clothing, art, etc. Those who embody a certain god, sense of rightness, displayed it with every move they made. They also gave this god to those who visited the place or that were born there. It was like a living being. No. It was like a disease, a virus. God's a disease. I'm not afraid of the mist anymore. We have God on our side now. And both Shinai and the Okami-sama are gone now. Little Chimmy doesn't have to be afraid of the corruption anymore. Do revere the new god though. Don't want her getting all sulky. She's a bit too cute for that. Can I just pamper her instead? Sounds good to me. Highlighted horsecock. The rightness had seated itself in human minds and lives, then multiplied, mutated, and spread to others. Thus God was alive. It wasn't just a concept, it was actually alive. In my mind, it was like a mind-based organism. Though it could only surface in such a dangerous manner because of Yasumizu and the Feast of the Yomi Purge. Two abnormal setups. But God was dangerous even if you ignored that. I'd mentioned before that there was a moment when God became dangerous. God was at its most dangerous when his name was forgotten. God was fine when it was revered. God was fine when it was acknowledged. But what if that God became forgotten? They would just recognize it as righteous and stop questioning it ever again. When distressed, people invoked God even if there was no religion involved. That was what kind of animals we were. Normally, such gods represented only the rightness and goodness within the heart of a single person, so it wasn't much of a threat. However, gods who had been forgotten only had their identities forgotten. They still retained their power to influence people. The forgotten gods, those who possessed nothing but became the name God, would be willing to create situations that no one unfamiliar with the god would be able to comprehend. The Meguruma had planned a warped plot that clearly wasn't worth the effort and could even end them if exposed, and the people of Yasumizu had reluctantly accepted it and got on to kill each other. That was all the fault of God. Of course, you could say it was directly done by the Great Lord Shinai or the Snake, but at the core of it all there was a fear of death and darkness. The mountain was the darkness and the darkness was Yomi. The mountain used to be a strange realm that birthed endless darkness and death. Thus the people who had secrets, could readily murder others and could hide that from the world. The truth behind the feast was the unforgettable loyalty to God. And that's the reason
wow, another reference we don't get. You must be a hardcore loser.
Fucking I'm like so close to going to get him tattooed, I just need like a little bit more money. Fucking love that guy. Looking back at it, maybe you did the right thing by not letting me eat the food here. In certain timelines, I definitely ended up infected by God. The feeling of having someone other than yourself control you was very scary. You can be controlled without realizing it, but it was actually way more scary if you did realize. You just happened to realize it, that's why you were scared. I can't blame you. Well, luckily you got to meet and talk to God in person this time, all's good. Well, I guess you're right. In the end, people are still controlled by things, but a certain someone did a good job playing God. Since not everyone there could understand the looping, that was the best option. I get it, but that kind of pisses me off. Just about everyone is influenced by another somehow. If you don't want that, you need to rebel, like I do. It's something the person who realizes it must do by themselves. They had no business asking for help with it or having it forced on them. You've been free from the start, huh? That's why you're scary. You are one who controls. You're on the same side as God, huh? You want to shoot me again? I only have real shells left, so I won't. But are we seriously walking to Kamifuji Yoshi now? Where are we headed anyway? I actually don't know. Ah! Misaka Mamiya appeared out of nowhere and swung her back at us, but we managed to jump back just in time. Mamiya-san, you went back before noon today. What were you doing? Sorry, Sawa-san. And this is... Oh, sorry, I'm the local informant. So it's you. What's going on here? My life is in danger. Huh, what? What is this, Haruaki-san? Explaining it would take a while. Sum it up. I didn't want outsiders present for the performance, so I informed them about a potential mystery scandal in the room and had them leave Kamifuji Yoshi. So it's your doing, huh? Everything is, isn't it? Actually, I had Mitsuji do some work, but I couldn't fit that into the summary. Mitsuji. Now's not the time for that. What's with those masked people? They have sticks. Is this Sugisawa village or something? What's the problem here? That's funny. Haruaki-san behind you. Oh, hail Shinai-sama. Seriously? A wolf actor jumped out of the mist, clad in nothing but patchwork wolf costume. To me as I was now, it actually looked comical, but the power of the weapon in his hand was no joke. He was about to hurt me bad. And here comes... Suddenly, he was blown away. I heard him groan as he disappeared into the mist again, and didn't get up for round 2. It's Sakamoto! Are you okay? Oh, yes. Thank you so much, but what's going on here? Sum it up, Haruaki-san. A group that wanted to start a murder ritual in Yasumizu went into a panic and started attacking the journalists, taking photos of them. I don't understand a bit of what you just said. I'll have you explain this later, even if I have to cover you in canned herring. Anything but that, it's fine. It's a chance to bolster your reputation as an ex-cult writer. Why do you know such details? Kyo-chan, calm down a bit. What's up with you, Hashimoto-san? I must say you're way too calm about this. You'll die if you underestimate the paranormal. Well, she's not wrong. Hey, don't mind me too much. Before we talk of the paranormal and whatnot, let's deal with the more mundane threat. Right as he finished those words, several wolf actors jumped out of the trees, making weird screams. Ah! In that case, you can't use a gun against an enemy with a stick. No, what am I supposed to do? Eat this. A stick flew by her, messing up her hair. Oh! A wall of flesh! As Chiami dodged, Hashimoto-san had moved into everyone's blind spot and blasted away two of the enemies. Don't fall through, the other guy's scrawny and the rest are women. Hey! Oh! Drop dead! Probably out of a sense of chivalry, they first went for the scrawny guy. That pissed me off. And hey, it was 2 against 1. Oh no, they beat me. Yeah! Hashimoto tackled one while Chiami-san landed a jump kick on the other, saving me. Dude, Chiami's fucking thighs, just I guess her legs in general, like so jacked. Hit in the jaw, the wolf was knocked down in one hit, the mask fell off. Hey, he looked even scrawnier than me, what the hell? Oh, do I have a talent for this? Not bad, little lady. Every fucking time we see her like fighting or something, her legs look fucking ripped. Yeah, she had great legs. Are you okay, Shigesaku? Well, then we'll kill at least one. No! With her fucking bag. Well, Miya-san was actually doing good work just swinging her shoulder bag around. Did you know that flails are best used on farm implements and they're good weapons that let even women and children kill soldiers? Well, flail's advantage is that you didn't need much power to hurt with them, but this gourmet rider was so strong that it didn't matter. Was the bag full of rocks or something? All the ones hit in the head were knocked senseless. Shit, get them, take them all. Why am I the most useless one? Shit, there's more? There's so many. They just keep coming. Then I'll just keep fighting. Hey, Haruaki-san, you fight too. I hadn't expected Mission 3 to be an all-out battle with this group. It didn't last longer than 10 minutes. Everyone on their side was scrawny, while everyone on my side, myself excluded, were berserkers. Because of that, the dozen or so wolf actors that fought us ended up knocked out on the ground around us. Though I knew this wasn't over. Looks like they want to talk. The problem had a mythical solution. Mission 3. Dealing with the Meguruma, the leaders of the feast. It would be easy if it could all be taken care of by beating the scrawny guys, but I had to defeat a false god that had controlled this place for centuries using weird myths and superstitions. Otherwise, I would be unable to completely free Yasumizu, this village, from the confines of the mist. There were 3. Oh, it's the fucking wolf leader dudes that were at the tree. They were positioned and presented in a completely different way than the ones who clearly did the dirty work. Their apparel was fancier too. They were the great Lord Shinai Yomatsu Okami that had appeared before the hanging vine. They were unarmed, signaling that they didn't want to fight right now. Who are you people? Loyal to the role, he asked that. You seem to be strangely knowledgeable. They seem to die at Meguruma, huh? Of course, you don't believe you can leave this place alive, do you? That's our line, fake. Her eyes didn't show a hint of hesitation, and her words didn't show a bit of fear. God was dead, she'd killed it. Thus, she had no reason to fear, obey, or tolerate a fake. One more step. What's going on here? Depending on your answer, I'll call the police. Sorry, that'll just make things more messy, so just leave it to me. You don't look very clean yourself. Let's leave it to him, Kyo-chan. Hashimoto-san. Well, if he does anything strange, I'll just crush him. I really can't ever beat you, can I?
あなたにはかなわないな。さて、
No.
ミグル
I
ワ
have
家
a
の
message
者
from
に
the Meguruma from the old god
古
of the
き山
mountain.
の神から
They were shaken.
この言葉
If
の
you
意味が
understand
わ
that,
か
then
る
you
なら
must be important members of
貴
the
様
family.
聞け。
Listen, the god has awoken
かの
again.
神
The
はよみ
Okami
が
and
え
the
った。
great god are dead. The servants of Shun vanished as well.
狼は
Upon
去り
leaving,
後
the Okami said
の
that
たま
there
っ
should be
た。
no more feasts.
よって
Thus, you have no
貴
cause to
様らに
invade
も
the
う
sacred ground.
帰って
Leave and tell this
皆
to
に知らせ
everyone.
よ。
Great Lord Shina is no
も
longer
は
on this
やこ
mountain.
の長者家
The
は
head families will soon
ま
fade.
それまで
Prepare
身を
yourselves to
正
wait
し
until then.
待つが
To
よ
my
い。
mind, it was possible that they would back out. After all, God was killed and replaced. That was the hard truth. The people of Yasumizu had changed their values and outlook on life. Thus, the group that had gained power through God would know this truth and thus lose their power. However, who are you? The false god asked that. It was old language. It was a simple question. Who are you? Among the many wolf actors here, the youths lying around us and the three in front of us, two of which had backed away in a panic. The elder in the middle stood out. His eyes were looking ahead. Beyond that mask, you could see unwavering black eyes and unshaken vigor. This wasn't the strength of a god. It was just the strength of a human. He used it to face me head on. He used it to ask me whether I had what it took to end this mad conspiracy. That was the challenge of the very last boss. Haruaki-san, what will you do?
どうするの？
I'd lose if I said something bad. I'd lose if I showed any sort of hesitation. I'd lose if I stayed quiet for too long. I felt as if the mask was laughing at me. Neither are you God nor divine child. You be no thing. So then why can't you defeat God? You are no god or divine child. You are no one, so why can you stand against God? That was a provocation. I knew this well. That was why I brought this over. I took it out again. The old wolf mask. Yeah. The old man laughed. Kagutsuchi, you had killed God when he acted like God.
あいつ
What's he saying?
Hmm.
Sounds like poetry to me.
神錆びて
Kagutsuchi who killed God while acting
神な
like
き
God.
日の
Kino
影土は
Kagutsuchi is definitely a
確か
god
に
that
神
killed
殺
God,
し
but it
の
wasn't
神
intentional.
燃え
He
盛る
killed
体が
Izanami
生ま
because
れ
his
落ち
body
る
was
時に
burning as he was born.
母たるイザナ
As
ミ
he
を
was
殺
born.
した
He's not talking about that
直接
Kagutsuchi.
かぐつち
Kagutsuchi, Kagu no Suchi,
Kagu
that's a
no
term for someone foolish and
Tsuchi.
ugly. He was cursing and
愚かで
reproaching someone who acted
醜い
like a
者
god and killed God.
ヤマトはヤマ
Yamato
ト
is mountain land,
な
while
る神
Narukami is
つまり
Kaminari,
雷
becoming
は
God.
山
The
を眺
mountain
めて
shows
も
no sign of
神
God's
の
power, and the
力
land
の
of
ペ
Yamato
ージ
has
は
no
なく
gods you can become.
ヤマト
We
の
already
国
killed
に
this god.
お前がなれ
After
る神
claiming
は
that,
ない
saying we would take
そ
his
ういう
place
こ
would
と
just
か
be
しら
wrong and self-contradictory. That was why the old man laughed. He knew he couldn't back out because of something like this. Well, that was the right idea, considering the Shinai face theology.
まあ
Well, that's very
割と
like a
それは
Japanese
日
myth
本
after
神話っ
all.
ぽい
No
わ
god
よ
had
ね
ever died in this
死ん
country.
だ神は
Exactly.
どういうこと
What do you mean,
間宮さん
Mamiya-san? Indeed, this was the right time.
聖
The
者と
border
死者
between the
の
land
領
of the
域が
living and
国
land
で
of the
区
dead
切ら
is
れ
the
ている
country itself.
ほ
That's
ら
how it was
イ
with
ザナギだっ
Izanagi,
て
you know?
そうだったじゃない
Indeed, this was the right place.
人も
Humans
神
and
も
gods,
死
everyone
ね
who
ば
dies
黄
goes
泉の
to
国に
Yomi.
行くの
This
よ
god existed. I had to thank Mamiya-san for the explanation later. I put on the mask. Fool.
うるさい
Shut
な。
up, just let me
言っ
talk.
てやるからしか
It
と
was a
聞
bit
け。
pathetic, but I would borrow your power again.
我の名前
My
は
name is
よも
Yamatsu
つ狼。
Okami. If your argument that Okami is no more, then verily I, Okami the great god, can also not be. If you call yourself Okami, then just as well, I am Okami the great god. The wolf-faced god that Henry.
いや違う。
No, this isn't
ここは不
Fushioshi.
死じゃない。
It's not like it's miserable around us.
ここに
The
僕
fact
と
that
あな
we're
たが
both
いる
here
から
means
ね
that we both died. The god would rise at any time in this time. The god would resurrect whenever the first comes. What an appropriate thing to worry about. The solution was simple though.
いいなら
No, because the Misty Yomi will never come out of this mountain again. Why is that? So he wasn't satisfied with the direct answer to his argument, huh? Then let me speak.
僕
This is
とあ
the
なた
final
の
story between us.
あなた
The
方の物語
continuation of your
の
story.
続
After
き
all,
を語ろう。
storytelling was my specialty. After the feast of the Yomi Purge, the wolves left the village. However, then came the Saranaga Mist, and the wolves rose up from Yomi to kill people. The people were scared and killed more and more people they thought to be wolves' allies. The feast of the Yomi Purge had become a fearsome massacre. But then it was found out that the wolves hadn't actually died. they'd just fallen off the cliff, weakened, caught by someone, and locked up in a dark prison. That someone was the snake. Shinai-san had turned out to be the wolves. The snake was using the feast to create an uprising against the wolves. To the wolves, the snake said that the ones who went against God's will were the humans, and continued to tell people that the wolves were bad. The snake would then wear Shinai-san's clothes, appear to be people, and control them completely using frightening words. However, the wolves weren't tricked. After all, the badger, who had come to the feast late, came to their prison and told the wolves the truth. With the badger's help, the wolves escaped the prison to return to the village. Regrettably, a lot of blood had already been spilled in the name of the Okami. The wolves were sad that their names would now on invoke fear and hate among the people. Thus, the wolves chose to set things straight. First, they went to the dream of a human girl who was born in the blessing of the snake, only to be marked by the wolves and chased out of her home. They told her to use powerful smoke and fire to burn all the guardians. She believed their words, and after lots of trouble, she obtained the powerful smoke and fire from a faraway land. Thus, she returned back home and used it to burn down the snake and its fellow guardians. With them at last punished, the wolves took everyone on a journey far away. With that, Mujina, the badger and the old god who was once the wolf's servant, had now taken his place as the new eternal god of the mountain. One of the guardians, the crow, was allowed to stay and be the watcher of the Yomi to prevent any from rising again. With that, Shinai-san was gone, leaving only humans, the crow, and the new god, bringing forth a new age of peace. The new god occasionally brings the mist as a reminder of the wolves. It's a good mist that protects people's dreams, takes away diseases, prevents fires, and promises prosperity, so that people began to love it when they came. However, misty nights were when gods walked the earth, so the people cleansed, sheltered, and dreamed to not get in their way. Upon seeing that, the new god said, "Well done." And they lived happily ever after. As I finished talking, I felt I could hear God giggle with a bizarre sort of amazement. Well, that was probably good enough. By the way, I had chosen to say nothing about my daughter. I leave that part of the plot to the daughter herself. So, people of the snake, the time has come for us to retreat. Let us pass through Yomi and go far away. With that conclusion, I took off the mask. The fear of Almighty God should this old snake bring, wherewith should they...
Oh, Daddy!
Is that your favorite sound alert? Become clouds in the sky and release a rain of chains. Did it work? I don't know, the words are a bit too complex for me, but I think I heard a snake in there. They were whispering to each other for a minute or two. Eventually, the masked old man began moving again, looked up, and spent a few seconds. After a brief but intense moment of prayer, he opened his mouth. Understood. The two seemed perplexed. I told you we shouldn't be doing this in the first place. I know we were racing I go against the head, but I can't stomach him any longer. My stupid son and late father should know the meaning of karma now. Young, I'm sorry for making you act like that. You can go now. We'll take care of everything. Huh? Well... I wasn't sure how to respond. Should I report you? Things would be bad if the healthcare center came. Well, this village might disappear then. What would those without savings do then? I hope they don't get cuts. You're still looking down on Yasumizu? Shami-chan, that's not it. Fujiyoshi people still need Fujiyoshi. Huh? Wait, are you saying we shouldn't report him? Well, yeah. Wait, no, stop. Don't make me keep quiet about such a scoop. I don't know what's what, but why not do this? Let's watch these people in the bigger room and still keep doing bad things and see if we can fix them. But if it looks hopeless, let's investigate them ourselves. Hashimoto-san, what's with the sudden professionalism? Seems very fishy to me. To be a pro is to stay calm. Don't worry so much, just watch. You'll see something in the paper in a few days. Something about a strange event in a remote village. What's wrong with you all? Get up, all of you. He turned around and threw away his mask. I couldn't see his face with his long gray hair, large neck, and fine jawline told me he was really vigorous for his age. The fancy mask he dropped made a clattering sound on the wood and gravel. God once again returned to the earth. As if he felt nothing about it, the old man didn't even turn around as he shouted at the wolf actors and left. I looked at Jamie. Oh shit, that was her dad? Oh. Her grandfather, yeah. The Meguruma have no granddaughters. No retreat. Damn, that sucks. We watched as the wolves left without showing a hint of divinity. Oji-sama. The current head should still be Shami Meguruma's dad. So I don't know. I was told that the previous head lives elsewhere. I've never even met him. I heard that after the first feast, they didn't have another one for about 40 years. Maybe it wasn't because there wasn't any myths. Let's stop there at this point. I don't want to know if there were good people among the Meguruma. Alright. should think about what to do with Mamiya-san. She really wants to know what's going on here. Kyoko House. Kyoko House, I am actually a fan of your articles. I saw the New Year's Soup special report on January's Apple page. Huh? Really? You're the first reader I've ever met. Wait, don't change the subject. Well, I'll just tell you as we head to your car. It's probably safe now, but it's hard to walk, isn't it? Well, it is a bit scary. Don't worry, we have a shotgun with an illegal sawed-off here. Hey, stop! I see you're quite a character. Well, alright, I'll play along. And so, the misty night passed without any werewolves appearing. Not everyone made it out unharmed, but it seemed like a good ending to me. All missions cleared, now I just had to return. I briefly told Mamiya-san about the feast and that they helped prevent it. Well, she did wonder how I knew about it. I considered telling her about the looping, but mostly because it seemed interesting, but I was too tired to talk for that long. That was where I ended the interview. She made me exchange phone numbers, eager to interview me someday. We then met up with everyone in the hall, and we went down to Saranaga. I looked around for Mako, but I couldn't find her anywhere. Then I noticed that my backpack was completely out of food. Some writing stuff was gone too, and there were some clumsy letters on the waterproof bag. Thank you, Fusayuki-san. And that was it. I didn't get it, but I could only guess she was satisfied with something and just left. I was kind of worried though. I had no doubt that she would grow up strong, and no one would ever catch her again. Who the fuck is Mako? Going down Saranaga on rubber boats is pretty easy. The fantastical mist surrounding us is very beautiful, enchanting, and I can totally understand what the people of the past thought this was Yomi. Eventually the mist ended and so did the forest. Mikako-san was watching as the mist grew and listened. She was silently crying. Yeah, I might have taken her side of everyone in Yasumizu were eager dealing with the scumbags. The moment I thought that, Chiemi and Haru-chan pinched my ass like they just read my mind. Haru-chan supposedly could read minds, but she actually sussed it out herself this time. It'd be hard for anyone who's not Mochi to handle being her boyfriend. As we arrived at a crossroads and got out, I saw Mitsuji waiting for us with 3 four-wheelers nearby. Fuck, you're slow. Sorry, the dream's over, right? Did you sheep bag? Yeah, it's all good. Good. Were you worried? I was. Some of the others filled their boats. Sorry, Okami-sama. Oh, she's just a sheep, so don't worry. What the hell are you saying? What happened to the whole thing about being gods? You could have realized these people. Oh, really now? So that's why you're carrying the masquerade in front of them. Oh, I almost forgot. Osaka-san, they use this for the act. This is actually a human sacrifice, so like a dug out in a small wayside town in Asumizu. It is. There are boats there too. Clean it up, give them a proper burial, display them, do whatever you want there. Understood. Well, I have no talent for archaeology. You'll probably have fitting people come sooner or later. Speaking of which, where's everyone else? They're in a hotel in Kachihara. They'll soon go on a bus tour to Atami. They'll just leave for me. You really are part of that kind of organization, huh? Heroes of Justice. Wow, I've got an impressive ex. Don't say that, you dumbass. Anyway, you'll hear from us again, so better brace yourself. Is that what she looked like when they dated? Huh? Haven't I died enough? Sorry, per wording. I'll make sure it doesn't get too crazy, so don't worry. Then I'll block you. You had me blocked? God damn, you're getting shittier by the minute. It's a world that's insane. Oh, yeah, get in. I mean, are you? Oh, Mitsuji Misamine, my ex, broken up recently. Her job as an ally of justice and we coincidentally bumped into each other here. What kind of intro is that? Mitsuji, this is Chiemi Serizawa-san. She got into a loophole because of a certain someone and we dated each other for a moment. So she's the rumored ex. She's also a casual murderer. Rumored, and stop putting all my pain into just 2 or 3 words. Well, that was kind of my fault too, so I have no place to talk, but you're as bad as always, huh? I think this shouldn't become a trend. I just want to go to sleep now. I want to bathe too. I want to kill Haruaki Fusashi-sama. What are you, the Three Stooges? My apologies. So you're their babysitter? Well, get in. I thought we had 4-wheelers. What the fuck? Not cars. What about you, Haruaki? I know you have a bike, but do you want to ride? No, that's fine. Let's part ways here. I see. Alright. Huh? Dummy. I really don't hate how merciless you can be. Stop minding us and just be honest with yourself. Nope. I come pay tribute at my shrine someday, city dweller. Haru-chan, look here. Hassan, man, you can go now. Bring something good when you get back. See you again. Yes, tell the others that nothing. Or tell the others that nothing. I'm supposed to be dead. Yeah, whatever. Good night and goodbye. I said that and turned around. Dummy. That was the last thing I heard from them. Then I heard them no longer. Been a while, my beloved bike. Though I'd hop on it later. A power drive, some stream walking, cliff climbing, excavating, acting, fighting, negotiating. No day has been as exhausting as this one. I finally remembered that my hand was injured, but the fatigue numbed the pain. I'd just sleep. I really wanted some sleep. And then he died. I woke up surrounded by mist. I woke up next to a pile of corpses. As if, wake up already, Haruaki-san, and take me somewhere far away. That kind of stuff won't happen again. Nothing strange would happen in reality. There's absolutely no such thing as werewolves. I whispered to no one. Then I gathered my stuff and left. The place where the convenience store was supposed to be was empty. It was all just forest. Of course, that was all just a dream. I didn't get lost anymore, but I felt like I'd soon forget this road. That was what dreams were like. Haru-chan's whole thing was just a juvenile delusion. Mitsuji's organization was just a public peacekeeping agency. God was purely psychological. There, all of that had to be products of reality. The end of Saranaga, the rotting Yomibito, the few monsters, a certain someone's love. It was all a dream. That was how I'd chosen to look at it. And so I returned to my normal everyday life. One day, a while after that, Mayor of Fujiyoshi Village resigns due to corruption scandal. A pet company in the Kachihara area goes bankrupt, has to put down lots of dogs. That's it, I expected more considering he told me to read it. After the incident, I gathered local newspapers and mimicked the previous Nosato family heads. Yet these were only relevant reports I found, though it wasn't nothing. It would be rash to underestimate this. A village mayor, probably a Meguruma or someone related, resigning was something that simply couldn't have happened there before. Even if it had, it would be something that went unnoticed. The people would simply decide it through secret power struggles. This could only mean that there's something a lot worse than corruption, and it made a lot of public... This could only mean that there was something a lot worse than just corruption, and this made it out to the public because they simply couldn't hide it all. The same went for the pet shop. If the Meguruma really used rabies for the corruption, it would have been national news. After all, it's basically a form of bioterrorism. Hell, with all the rabid dogs they had, the disease must have spread to other mammals, like rats, according to what I looked up. If these rabid animals spread all over Japan would no longer be considered rabies-free, and that would cost the country a lot. Otherwise, they were just unhygienic dogs, trained in a weird way. Or maybe the elitists hated to prevent panic and loss of resources. Well, there was Mitsuji's job too. I hadn't heard from them yet, and I got nothing when trying to call her myself, even though I sang the Buddhist Ash Rock. Well, whether government or secret organization, I hoped her group did whatever they had into in the background. Apparently, the situation in Fujiyoshi was stable. There was a mayoral election, and the Nosato head ended up taking the post. The reason why they skipped the Higuchi was probably too complicated to release for the public. I was informed for this through an email left by Kiyonosuke Nosatoshi. He was outside the village right now, along with Kakaku and Batsu-san. He'd rationalized this with his family by saying that he would seclude himself with her and keep the danger that was the Umatsu family away. Bold. He could easily contact his brother, current head and mayor, and get info from him, and I could probably learn more if I contacted them. But this is their problem now. If I went any deeper, I'd just be a rubbernecker. I did find out that life and notes and music carried on as always, which is good enough for me. Oh man. Did the fact that I've been trying to copy the previous Nosatos mean that I still hadn't recognized this whole event as a dream? Or maybe I had some lingering feelings. I could still see her at the edge of my vision. Was it that hard for me to end it? Weird, my flashback was extremely vivid and it still failed to leave me. She actually showed up. Yo, self-proclaimed Haruaki-san.
Yeah.
Yo, I almost screamed. Almost. Pretty good house you got here. Way above what other students have. Yeah, I guess. Oh, here's a present. Oh, thank you. Sacred covered manju. Where'd you get this treasure? I'm hyped as hell now. Chami-sensei, how did you get in? Lots of people left just now, so I stepped by as they went out. The auto lock didn't stand a chance. The front door is actually open too. They always came in droves, so I just left the door open. Friends?
編集者
実
I've
は
been meaning to mention
さっ
that
きから
pilot book.
ケンポンだね
Documentaries.
え
Huh?
作
You're
家
an
さん
author?
こ
Kinda.
れ
I saw this one on TV. Oh, and this one is a student co-op.
全部
The
作家
authors'
の名
names
字
are all different.
本名は
Which
ど
one's
れ
the
かな
real one?
どうせ全部
They're all
実名
fake,
でしょ
aren't they? And wait,
っていうか
Haruaki Fusaishi.
大
Switch them to get Fusaishi Haruaki. Haruaki can read as Yome. Fusaishi
大
Yome.
正面
Fusai
意外なことじゃ
Shome.
ない
That's Japanese for alibi. You were just messing around, huh?
ふざけた
I
わけじ
didn't.
ゃ
That's
な
my
い
pen name from
あ
when
れ
I'm
は
barely
仕事
working.
をサボるとき用
根底がふざけてる
You are messing around. And wait, you're seriously a famous author? You're a winner at life. Don't look down on us commoners.
一応
I'm actually
締
living
め
in
切りと
constant fear
編
of
集者と
deadlines,
文
editors,
才
and
の
writer's
枯渇
block.
本名は
What's your real name? She chased me around my office and study for a minute. Then, oh well, right? Right. Why are you here?
みっちゃんに
I
住
asked
所
for
を
your
聞
address
い
on
て
Michan.
みっちゃん
Michan.
みつじさん
Mitsuji-san.
な
Why are
ん
you
で
two friends
な
now?
あいつだ
She
けは
told me
やめ
over
と
and
け
over and over
って
to forget about you.
いよいよ
Seriously, why are you here?
あれから
I've been
5
rejected
社
by
ほ
5
ど落ちま
companies
し
since then.
おお
Whoa, harsh.
大学は軽
There's
く
a
夏
summer
休
break
み
at college.
おおそんな
It's
季
that
節か
season, huh?
ちょっと
So I
気分
figured I
転
needed
換
to
が
change
必
the
要
pace.
だ
That's when I
な
remembered that there's a
そうい
Casanova
え
who
ば
said he'd be
二
fine
徹
with
してく
taking me
れる
as
っ
a
ていう
mistress.
な
ああ
Yeah, in a
夢
dream.
ちえみは
I don't
夢
think
の
it was
中
just
と
a
は
dream.
思ってないけど
いい
You
のか
sure
な
about this?
目の前に
You're
いるの
talking to a
は
real wolf
ル
who
ープの
looped around
中
and
で
snagged
3
3
人の
women
女子
along
に
the way.
あら大
Oh
変
dear, I guess I gotta stay
じゃあ
by your
そばに
side
い
so
な
I
きゃ
can kill you again.
言う
Big
じゃないか
words.
どう
Well, do you think
い
I've
ろいろ
become
あ
a
った
better
かい
woman?
趣味
I
は
think you have poor taste.
お互い様で
Hot
しょ
meat kettle. Denying that would have pissed me off, so I said nothing.
一本取った
Point for me, huh?
じゃあ
You know what?
先
First
に
this
10
hand
本
can
取っ
make the
た
other do
側の
whatever
言う
they
こと
want.
やった
What?
ち
I
え
came
みち
here
ゃ
to
ん
break
は
your rules.
ここ
From
から
now
先
on, I
は
want to give,
子
not
供は
just get.
一緒になったら
You said that we
二人で
become
ど
more
こ
and
まで
more
も狂っち
insane
ゃ
if
う
we're together,
だ
right?
ったら
So I figured I'll be your
ちえ
enemy
み
instead.
優秀な対
I'll
戦
be your
相手
rival or just a thorn in your side. What do you think, God?
い
How
い度
bold of you,
胸だ
human. She always smiled, stuck out her tongue, and ran off ahead of me. A cheerful and sane, weird girl. That was very scary and interesting. I'd play along, catch up to her.
じゃ
Put this on then.
みっちゃんの
Is this Michan's?
別れてか
I
ら
got
買
the
ったバ
bike
イク
after
で
we
すから
broke up. The helmet's
Hey,
new too.
そっか
I
そっ
see,
か
I see.
ふんふん
なんだ
What? Give me one before I put this on. I've been holding back for so long. Crap, what a surprise attack.
そんなん
If
言
you're
われ
gonna
た
say that,
ら
I guess I'll just do
す
it.
るよ
Just as she asked, I kissed her. Congratulations to the 13th woman to be kissed by this guy.
おめでとう
Congratulations, you felt
春脇さん
defeated by a kiss
生ま
for
れ
the
て
first
初
time
め
ever
て
and
中で
built
敗
your
北
sword
感
and
を
trying
感
to
じ
save
る
face.
行くぞ
Let's go. Okay. Aww.
わ
Wow,
お
this
結
is
構
comfy.
速度は
It's
あ
not
んま
that
り出ない
fast
けど
though.
ね
Put your leg on the step
足は
and
ステ
hands
ッ
on the
プ
belt or
手
the
はベ
frame.
ルトがそ
オッケー
Okay, this doesn't bring us too close, huh?
運転中
Don't
に
bother me
誘
while I'm
惑して
driving.
こな
We'll
い
be
よう
knocking on heaven's door.
それは夜のお
You're
楽し
saving
み
that
でしょ
until tonight, huh?
にやったぜ
まあ
Well, that's only if you don't crash and die again.
一応
I
セ
learned how
ー
to
ブも
do
ちょ
some
っと勉強
maintenance.
したぞ
Immediately used it in the
早
book
速
I'm
原
reading.
稿の
春脇
You
さ
tend
ん
to
調
become
子に
really
乗ると
uncool when
か
you're
壊
too
ると
uppity.
言いがちだ
Keep
か
that
ら
in mind.
ちえみはラリってぶっ殺さないように注意ね
Well, you keep in mind not to go on a random murder spree and kill me.
わお通だ
Ouch, that one hurt. I guess we gotta
あと
keep
は
in mind that we
二
don't
人
have any resets
リ
now,
セッ
huh?
トは
True.
違いない
I turned on the engine.
じゃあ
Let's go then. Okay. And then they died. Just as the previous journey led to a dream we can no longer return to, this one would surely lead us to moments so great they could never be repeated. Aww. Oops. Whatever. I wanted to watch where they went. Revelation mode. By setting it on in the options, you can replay the game with additional thoughts and flashbacks by Haruaki, as well as added scenes from other characters' points of view. I'll be waiting there. Ending, true. Watch hint corner? I think this is the secret hint thing I need to watch.
よう
Hey, Chief.
ここまで
Thank
至
you for
っ
coming all
て
this
くれ
way.
て今
A long, long nightmare's finally ended.
夢の
As
専
an
門
expert
家
in
として
dreams, I apologize for
大
putting you
将
through all
の
that
手
trouble,
煩
but none of
わ
this
せ
would
た
have
のは
been
申し訳
resolved
な
if
く
it
思
weren't
う
for
が
you.
それに
And I never believed that this would end so cleanly.
犠牲者はゼ
There
ロじ
was
ゃ
a
なかったが
casualty, but in his case, it seems that it's true when they say heaven's judgment is slow but sure.
仮に人
In
命が
incidents
助
like
かった
these,
と
it's
して
not
も
uncommon for there
か
to
わ
be
い
people
そう
who
な
are
こと
saved
に
at
なる
some
やつが
sad price.
まさか
I sure as hell didn't
こい
expect her
つ
of
ま
all
で
people to
何
who saved the world when all was said and done. How sad, I was set up, I was betrayed. Haruaki-sama, you foolish dummy. But how did you end up like this? The execution of Haruaki's contract should have been in time, in which case it should have just ended with you committing suicide. That is something me nor my main story know. Have you no shame, Sheep-sama? You clearly know, do you not? Yeah, well I'm at a disadvantage. Let's move on to some explanations. What's that? It's already over, you say. Whoa there, Chief. Did you forget that Raging Wolf is the story of Haruaki Musashi, the worst career in the world? The incident may be totally over, but there's still much for you to enjoy. Very tasteful content at that. Even I, who was strict in the main story, agree with that. True ending, lovey-dovey road trip with Chiami-chan. You know I have been wondering this for a while, but who comes up with those titles? Me, got a problem with that? No, by all means continue. It would be rather tasteless for us to talk about the content of the ending here, so you explain solely what happens next as a game. By reaching the true ending, you unlock Revelation mode. If you think you can find Revelation... Oh, I think you can find Revelation. So we're switching it on. Wow, what'll happen when you do? That was the flattest line read I've heard. By turning it on, Revelation scenes will show up in the main story. Revelation scenes are various pieces of information outside of Haruaki's viewpoint that weren't shown in the main story. Most of the emotions and conversations of other characters. Yomi and Wit in particular show the thoughts and secret actions of the wolves there, as well as the schemes of a certain mastermind throughout the entire main story. You okay there? Yes, for now I can take off my mask as a bleeding and mysterious heroine, to reveal my new apparel as a terrifying enemy full of malice. No, with you it reveals a lot of all sorts of moments of you being a klutz, an idiot, getting into lover's quarrels, and being a closet pervert. Well, all of that has its own appeal. Revelation scenes contain all sorts of mysteries and marvels left out of the main story, for example. This one, how did I end up as that thing in the darkness? Or, what was that living enigma Haruaki-sama thinking? What was that living enigma Haruaki-sama thinking deep down? It also details the shameful farce that Sheep-sama and Haruaki-sama kept playing over and over from the start. Is that your idea of a counterattack? It is indeed. First of all, how dare you act as an interface character watching over the whole story from here with a straight face. You're the last one I want to hear that from. Changes like that between myself and Sheep-sama will also appear in the hit corners and such. Also, by turning Revelation mode on, the scenario chart will change slightly. It should already have shown up by now, but when you enter each round, there should be star marks and chapter squares. That star indicates a chapter under Revelation scene. Thank you, so then if you only want to read the Revelations, I kind of want to do that. Okay, but when I read, several of those marks are colored in. When you enter one of those marked chapters of Revelation mode set on, the star mark becomes colored in red. Well, it's not until I find Revelation scenes you haven't seen yet. Incidentally, read text skip will stop at unread Revelation scenes, so I recommend that for Chiefs who only want to read the Revelation scenes. I see, so you can play past parts you've already read and allow you to read only the Revelation scenes at your own pace. Yeah, of course, if you want to reread the whole thing, that'll deepen the experience even further, but we'll leave the playing style to the Chiefs. However, keep in mind that read Revelation scenes are marked as red. Red Revelation scenes are marked as red when you enter the chapter of Revelation mode section on. The star turning to red does not mean that you have read all Revelation scenes in the chapter, so be sure to read the chapter from beginning to end. Also, if you use the jump until next verse function, all the Revelation scenes in between will be marked as red, like the non-Revelation scenes. Please exercise caution. By reading the Revelations scattered all across the story, you can enjoy the playing Raging Wolf one more time. There you have it, fun doesn't stop. That's too long of a fucking game, though. Did you see that extra button on the title screen? There you'll find stories that serve as sequels to stories in the main story. Extras now unlocked and playable. When measured collectively, they're of decent length. For example, this one has one pathetic life shoot that's at the main story. Or what about the organization Sheep-sama belongs to and that mysterious little girl? Mako! Incidentally, none of the 5 extra stories contain any Revelation scenes. We would be happy if you would show everyone, including me, living in their lives after the incident with some secrets of love. Well, no, the explanation's gotten pretty long, huh? So long as it does not tarnish your reputation late in life, it is fine. Don't talk like this is the end. Unfortunately, everyone except the demonic geezer survived. Their stories will continue afterwards. Same goes for the Chiefs reading this. What if I died? Everyone, please let my main story show my main story self and I flourish greatly in your minds. We do not mind however perverted it gets. Your jokes just aren't funny. Well, whatever, at any rate. With this, the case is closed. Ready for this? Good. Once again, playing Raging Loop. Deeper than the green of the mountain range. Later, Chief. You unlock the media player. You can access the media player by opening the album on title screen, watching hint corner. Incidentally, this ending may also have a Revelation scene, or maybe it doesn't. For example, like this.